Yeah, and as the teams go meet out of midfield, one other thing to note here is the offense has weapons. Tyden Morris, Lincoln Holmes, Kona Crowell, Ethan Cummings. We've talked about a lot of these guys that go out there and get it done. Tyden Morris right now is averaging 110 yards a game, which is phenomenal for a back to accomplish. Lincoln Holmes is at 41.4 yards receiving. This team can move the football. They have a great offense, and a lot of it comes down to the trenches. That line is willing to give Noah some time to get the ball out, and this offense can definitely roll for the Thunder.
Let's look at some more keys to the game. Again, brought to you. Pick up the new keys to your new Subaru at Findlay Subaru on the saving side of the freeway. Is it cross versus Noah? Is it passing? Is it the trenches? In the last game, I mean, I know it's cliche, Caden, but it really came down to turnovers. 5 turnovers or 5 takeaways, depending on how you want to look at it. And Crimson had a big edge in that department, and that's why they won by 14 points.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a big part of this game tonight is turnovers. Like I had mentioned before, Mountain Crest has done a pretty good job through the playoffs so far of keeping the ball with their offense. They haven't turned it over too much, but I do know that this Thunder defense can get out there and get the job done, taking the ball away from the offense. We'll see what they do tonight, but that could be a big key of the game is turnovers.
All right, let's do this. Both teams are ready to go. Let's take a final 60-second timeout. This has been the Findlay Subaru pregame show. When we come back, kickoff, Mustangs, Thunder, coming up next. A chance to go to the title game on the line.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
For your auto parts needs.
Salutations from Southern Utah University, home to the semifinals today. Earlier today, the 3A played games, and it was Juab beating Canyon View. Morgan, they won, so Juab and Morgan for the 3A title next week. And then moments ago, it was Crimson Cliffs with the victory, knocking out the defending champ, Ridgeline Riverhawks. And now we've got the delivery of the official game ball. Got a player representing each team out there to maybe get it as the helicopter. Where's the helicopter here, Caden, delivering the game ball? I don't see it yet.
Well, last time it came from the north, headed towards the south. I'm trying to see if the crowd has spotted it yet. I know that obviously we're still waiting on that, but I got Mark out there. He says he's pointing to the north, it looks like, so maybe that's where it's coming from. Speaking of Mark, I wonder if Mark can give us an update on who won the toss down there. Mark, do you have that for us?
He doesn't even have his microphone on.
He's got to get his microphone turned on.
That's all right.
Hey, I have to put it on mute, because sometimes I'm known to say expletives. No, I'm not sure who won the toss, but Desert Hills will receive the ball to begin. So I'm assuming Mountain Crest won the toss and deferred.
Yeah, that's a good call. Thank you, Mark. We'll be checking in with him. He'll have some coaches' interviews as the game ball is being delivered. Thank you to Findlay Subaru for bringing you our keys to the game and the pregame festivities. Kickoff moments away, presented by Udy and Associates. Luke Udy, your American Family Insurance agent. Get a free quote today at Luke Udy and Associates American Family Insurance on auto, home, and life. There's the game ball picked up by Mountain Crest. Noah Fuilatolo wanted nothing to do with trying to catch that football. And again, like Mark said, it will be the Thunder football with all black. And they got the wings on the helmets. Good-looking jerseys tonight for the Thunder. They debuted these last week at home for the fans.
I saw these, and to be fair, I haven't called a ton of Desert Hills games this season. So when I saw these, I was a little shocked. I was like, hey, these are pretty sweet uniforms they got here with the Thor wings on the helmet. I kind of like the look down there. And shout out to one of the sponsors up in Cache Valley, Logo Shop, for the uniform check-in.
Yeah, there you go. By the way, SUU is playing down at Greater Zion Stadium against Utah Tech, and SUU has taken a 19-17 lead with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. That game's on 99.5 or 93.1 in Cedar City. But glad you're with us. If you're here on the live stream or the radio, this is the game you're looking for right now, and glad to have you in. They will put Kona Crowell and Cyrus Polu back deep to receive this kick. And let's play some football. Put 12 minutes on the first quarter clock, and the kicker ready to rush his guys out. Looks like the kicker is at Langsdorf, Buddy Langsdorf. No, it's 70.
Number
Excuse
70.
me. That is Judson Wells. Judson Wells set to kick out. I thought it was 10 for a second, not 7. My apologies. And let's play some football. Here we go. And Wells puts a right foot into it, kicks it deep, and it is going to sail into the end zone for the touchback. And Noah Fuilatolo, we just call him Fui, will come out for the opening drive, and the Thunder from their own 20-yard line. The senior starters out there, Taven Mortensen, Javen Cummings. Tide Morris will start in the backfield. They didn't run him much in the fourth quarter, kind of giving him some rest last week once the game was in hand against Skyview. But 1,200 yards rushing on the season, eclipsing the 1,000-yard mark. He's a bruising running back. He'll be the right side of Fui. Twins to either side. They'll put a man in motion. They're going to run it to Morris off the left side, trying to get the edge. He bulldozes a would-be tackle, spins, and he'll pick up 2, and that's it. Did the ball come out?
It looked like the ball did come out.
And it looks like the Thunder got back on top of it. It might have maybe got knocked back to the original line of scrimmage. Take a look on our Holbrook Asphalt replay.
Yeah, you can tell it. He definitely got a solid hit there from the defense.
Looked like it was Jerem Wilkins, number 62, actually. We'll call it 9 to go. Fui looking to throw. Outside, has a man, but he overshot him. It's incomplete. He was trying to find Lincoln Holmes on the coverage. Number 9, Dax Benson for the Mustangs.
Yeah, good coverage there by the Mustangs. And a little overthrown by Fui to Lincoln Holmes. I like the idea. It just wasn't quite there.
So 3rd and 9, opening possession of the game. We're 36 seconds into this one, and already a 3rd and long for the Thunder offense. Sam Stevens, Jim Eggleston, the co-offensive coordinators under head coach Rick Barry in his second season. Fui looking to throw, looking over the top, one-on-one coverage. There's a man down the field, and he overshot Cummings by maybe a yard. That was there. He didn't have a lot of separation, but it's incomplete. Azen Cummings, the intended receiver.
Now, I like what the Thunder are doing here early. They're airing it out. They're trying to get some big yards to gain. They're thinking, hey, we got a lot of time on the clock right now, so we might as well use it to our advantage, and let's try to make a big play early. And so they try, sadly. 4th and long.
I like throwing to the single receiver side to Cummings. He's come on the second half of the season, but it was just too far out in front. Thatcher Phelps back deep as one of the kick return guys as the punt by Cyrus Polu is low, line drive, and returnable from the 40. And a quick tackle made, and not much of a return by number 0, William DeCorver. DeCorver is a guy that played great last week and got behind the Dixie defense a couple of times in that upset win.
Yeah, and a good response there from the Thunder special teams to not let the return come that far out, maybe only about 4 or 5 yards, and the Mustangs are going to get set up at the 46-yard line.
DeCorver has 32 catches, 703 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's the favorite guy from Crofts. They will look for him early and often. Straight drop, they'll throw, out route. There's DeCorver, and he dropped it. Incomplete.
Yeah, pass hit right in the hands. Is a little underthrown or thrown behind, I should say. And good reaction there by DeCorver. Just couldn't quite bring it in.
Second down and 10 for the Mustangs. Their opening possession of the game. Good field position here, starting this drive from the 46-yard line. Thunder in the black. Mount Crest orange bottoms, white tops, white lids. Two-back set. And they're going to run it off the left tackle, a little bit of a crease. He puts his head down, and it's going to push for a pickup of about 9 yards out to the 45 of Desert Hills, and it'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Cyrus Polu getting in on the stop there for the Thunder, keeping it just shy of that line to gain for the first down. But the Mustangs so far on this first set of downs for them in decent field position have found their way into Thunder territory now, looking to get that First Credit Union first down.
3rd and 1. And here comes the huddle. They break it. Crofts, two-back set again. Twins to the far side of the field. Single receiver to the bottom of your screen. Glad you're with us on the live stream or St. George News Radio. Fan Sports Network team bringing you tonight's commentary, and it's going to be a run. It's going to be a First Credit Union first down to the 41-yard line. That'll move the chains. Number 7, Carson Olson, one of the captains.
A good run there by Olson. Again, he knew he just needed to get that first down. He was able to go through and get about 4 more on top of it. So Mustangs moving the ball further into Thunder territory now. 1st and
10. By the way, score updates brought to you by Nets on Fire. Earlier, if you're just tuning in, it was Crimson Cliffs winning. They beat Ridgeline 27-13, and Utah Tech has got a 2019 lead over SUU right now. They just got caught a field goal moments ago. DeCorver, reception, pickup of a 5-yard gain, and it'll take it down to the 36-yard line on a quick out route.
Yeah, and it looked like that was a Hunter Clark on the stop there on that 5-yard quick out pass for the Mustangs. So
yeah, they put Clark on one side. Mortensen is now, he was playing safety the first half of the season. They've moved him to the other cornerback. They brought Cummings and Holmes in to play the safety position. Earlier in the year, Holmes was playing outside backer. So they've made some shuffling defensively over the course of the year. They'll run it off left tackle. Not much there. Pick up a 2, maybe 3, and then driven back. In there, leading the way, Javen Cummings coming up from the safety position. And then big double nickel, Tamatasi Viliama Sauta also pursuing the ball, getting over there for the Thunder defense. Rick Barry's the head coach. He's also the defensive coordinator. Ryan Visser, the head coach of Mountain Crest up in Hiram, Utah. And they've had a really good season, getting in as the 6th seed, and here they are. And they are in Thunder territory. 3rd down and 2, opening possession for the Mustangs. No score, 8:30 left on the first quarter clock. It's a quick toss to Olson. He'll cut back. He is hit. He falls forward, and he didn't get it. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. It'll be 4th and 2.
Those linebackers for the Thunder were able to get back there and sneak their way through the holes in the line. Again, no gain on the play. That 3rd down stop to create that 4th down. Big here for the Thunder, especially before they got into field goal territory.
They're leaving the offense out there. You're kind of in no man's land because it would be about a 50-yard field goal attempt. You're at the 33 of Desert Hills. They're going to go for it on 4th and 2. Opening drive. They go quick. 3 tight ends. They run it right up the middle. The hit comes, but he falls forward, and he got the first down. Needed the 31, and he got the 30. Fresh set of downs for the Mustangs. A First Credit Union.
First down. And I got to tell you, being able to see that side of the line, taking it over to this near side and seeing that there weren't really any holes in the line, so you got to take it out to the side. Was able to do so, get a half yard extra for that line to gain for the first down.
More wholesale substitutions coming in for Coach Visser and the Mustangs. They'll stay in the huddle. They don't run a lot of motion. They don't pull a lot of guards. They're just kind of smash mouth straight at you, and that's what we saw in that 4th down run. Heavy package, pound the football. See what they go with here. 4 receivers set, out of the gun, looking down the field. Crofts throw, short hop the receiver, it's incomplete. He thought he made it. He was trying to sell the catch, but the official had already signaled no. And he was trying to find his guy. That is number 1, Colton Kirby. And Kirby couldn't keep it off the turf. Short hopped him.
It definitely looked like it was underthrown, and Kirby goes to the official and says, "I'm pretty sure I caught that." The official said, "Nah, sorry, buddy, wasn't quite there." And it wasn't. It did hit the turf first, but it does bring up 2nd and 10. Fresh set of downs here for Mountain Crest.
Kirby, 26 catches, 280 yards, averaging 10 a catch. Has a touchdown reception this year. Quick toss to the left, cut back, and inside the Cache Valley red zone down to the 15 goes Dante McMurtry, the senior running back. A nice crease opened up, and that'll be a fresh set of downs again. Mountain Crest driving.
And Dante McMurtry looking light on his feet there. He took a little bit of a juke that got away from a few of those defenders to get it all the way down to the 15.
4 receiver, twins to either side. They'll run a draw up the middle. McMurtry, nothing doing. Stu Taufa with the tackle immediately. Last week, they put Stu in as a D tackle. Normally, he's just playing offense most of the year as a left tackle, and he makes a big-time stop.
When you got a guy like Stu Taufa on your roster, sometimes in these big-profile games, like the semifinals of the playoffs, you might ask him to do a little bit more for you, and here he is doing a little bit more.
Seesaw battle down in St. George, for those interested. It is an interstate game between SUU and Utah Tech. And SUU just kicked a field goal, so they're back up 22-20. That game is exciting. I kind of wish I could superimpose myself, and I'm sure you do too, Caden, and be in 2 places at once.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a good time as there's a timeout called here out on the field.
We'll keep it right here. Timeouts all season long, brought to you by Fabulous Freddy's. Stop in, voted best of Southern Utah, full-service car wash. Get your car cleaned inside and out, and their coupon books are on sale now through Christmas. So make a great stocking stuffer. Get some for yourself. Stock up. You basically pay for 7 and you get 3 washes free. So 30% off now through Christmas on all their different coupon book packages at Fabulous Freddy's.
And don't forget, if you haven't yet, stop by the Bluff Street location and grab an Ike sandwich. Those things are good.
Yeah, they really are. Matt Cain, the Pioneer, the Madison Bumgarner. They got all kinds. I haven't even tried them all yet.
I haven't either. I've had a couple, but I'm able to hit that one up on my way home from work every so often, so it's a good spot.
No question. 6:07 to go, opening quarter. Both teams kind of filling each other out. Opening drive for Desert Hills, they go 3 and out. And the opening drive for the Mustangs, they're into the Cache Valley Bank red zone. And it's 2nd down and 14 after a TFL by Taufa. Looking into the end zone, over the top, double coverage. It's in the air, and it is caught, intercepted, out of bounds, touchdown. It's a touchdown. McCorver brings it in, and it's a touchdown. Wow. Mustangs strike first.
Now check out the coverage here. He was in 2-man coverage, and it was kind of a toss-up between him and Javen Cummings, but able to just wrestle it away is DeCorver.
Javian Cummings and William DeCorver had the ball at the same time, but as he rolled off, it was DeCorver that kept it, and that's why it was a touchdown. And he did get both feet in bounds. That is a good call by the official. And with 5:57 on the first quarter clock, Mountain Crest leads 6-0. Here's the extra point. It's up. Little chip shot. Field goal. PAT is good, and we'll take a timeout. 45-second break, and Desert Hills will have to come from behind as Mustangs of Mountain Crest lead 7-0 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Stay with us on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. Hearst General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Glad you're with us here. Southern Utah University, home of the 4A semifinals in the nightcap. It was the 3A earlier today. Morgan Juab won. Crimson beating Ridgeline. And the final game here to be played tonight. Mountain Crest strikes first. Nice job getting on the board as William DeCorver in the corner double team. What a catch by DeCorver as the kickoff is into the end zone for the touchback.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those plays that you're going to look at later and say, what an athletic play. And with the Mustangs able to strike first, that's huge. We talked about the Thunder going through that set of downs really quickly when they started off with the ball.
5:57 on the clock. Here we go. Tide Morris will switch to the left of Noah Fuitololo. Man in motion, that's Holmes. They'll give it to Holmes on the jet sweep around the left side. He's trying to get running north and south, and he really can't until the boundary, and he'll pick up 2, and that is it.
Yeah, he's taken down from behind after the short gain on the sweep. And not a lot there for the Thunder, trying to keep it rolling on the ground, where last time they kind of kept things in the air. So not a lot of gain yet here for this Desert Hills offense.
You're going to hear a lot of Carson Olsen and William DeCorver and Thatcher Phelps and Dax Benson. These guys fly around, and a lot of these guys from Mountain Crest play both ways. 2nd down and 8. Fui will put a man in motion. That's Mortensen. They give it to Mortensen, but they blow the play dead.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call was.
Timeout.
It looks like they just gave it a timeout, yep.
All right, we're going to take a 30-second timeout. Again, brought to you by Fabulous Freddy's. Mountain Crest with the 7-0 lead on the Wilkinson scoreboard. We'll be right back. Actually,
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Reward points, exclusive discounts, and making appointments. Fabulous Freddy's monthly unlimited washes. Fast, frequent, and fabulous.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, out of the timeout. 2nd down. And the Thunder going to work, trailing 7-0. Evan Dixon, Caden Formaster, Noah Fuitololo going to throw an out route. Caught. Cummings brings it in, but he's hit him, dropped immediately. And there's the guy that scored the touchdown, making a play on defense, William DeCorver.
Yeah, DeCorver getting in there, reading the pass well, getting right into the line of fire. Cummings bringing in the catch for just a short gain of about a yard.
Mountain Crest, Desert Hills, about 6 hours. Give or take a few minutes, separate these two campuses. And a lot shorter drive as the Thunder have a good contingent of fans on the home sideline. 3rd down, they set up a screen. Caught by Tide Morris. Morris has some room and blockers. Following Stu Talfa, 1st down and more. Out across the 35. And then his team tackled near the 37-yard line, but that's a U First credit union 1st down. That's the first time the Thunder have got a 1st down in this game.
You know, Thunder, maybe a blessing in disguise there for them when they saw that blitz coming. It actually opened up the field for Morris to be able to go and get that 1st down, because it looked like you got 3 guys running right at Noah. That pressure's coming. That's tough to take, but you know what? Morris able to get the pass off to him and take it around for a 1st down.
Credit Nicholas Nielsen for trying to take on that Stu Talfa block out there. Quick toss to Morris. Got a little room. Trying to set the edge. And he'll get it to the 45-yard line, or just shy of it, and it's a gain of 7.
Yep, good gain there by the Thunder. That's what you like to see, is good 5 to 7 yard gains. This one being about a 7-yarder. It looks like they'll put it at 7. That's nice for the Thunder to get those big chunks.
Got another Nets on Fire score update after this play. Toss to Ford, the fastest Ford on the field. Gets the edge. He's going to have the 1st down. And he's going to pick up about 7, maybe 8. He took a big shot at the end, but that'll move the chains. Hey, Caden, every time I look down, we've got a lead change. Utah Tech, Ricky Johnson, touchdown reception from Vic Gabalis. And they have retaken the lead over SUU with about 13 seconds left in the 1st half. That's turning into a shootout down in St. George.
Those Trailblazers want to bring that axe back down south to St. George, huh?
Ford, inside draw play. And he gets tackled, driven down, but he picks up 7 again, down to the 47-yard line. Or excuse me, the 43-yard line of Mountain Crest. So for the first time tonight, Thunder into Mountain Crest Mustang territory.
And again, like I mentioned before, another big 7-yard gain. That's exactly what the Thunder need to be doing right now, is just taking those chunks away from Mountain Crest.
Run play again. Tide Morris up the middle, breaks a tackle, puts his head down, and he'll have a 1st down to the 36-yard line. And that's going to be the MO here. We saw this in the earlier game, Caden, where both teams tried to establish the run, and we're seeing this tonight. Although when they needed to, Mountain Crest was able to get a touchdown pass in the corner. Another run. Tyden Morris, another good job by the front five as they move the pile, and another, almost 8 yards on first down again for this Thunder team.
We talked about Tyden Morris in the pregame show and how dominant he is in the run game, and he's proving it right now. You're happy if your back can average 4 or 5 yards. He's getting 7 to 8 right now.
13 touchdowns rushing this year, averages 110 yards per game. Morris again, he's got some blocking. He cuts back inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. Another first down for Tyden Morris. He's chewing up chunks on the ground right now for this Thunder offense.
Now Morris getting it done right on cue again and getting himself into that Cache Valley Bank red zone. That's what you want to see if you're the Thunder. You're now inside the red zone, field goal position, and trying to get on the board and even things out with Mountain Crest.
Cache Valley Bank, your financial outfitter. Mountains await. They'll run it again to Ford. Ford has a little crease. 15, down to the 10. Stays outside, down near the 5-yard line. The fastest forward on the field. It's 7-0 Mountain Crest leading with 2:34 left in the first quarter. But Desert Hills is threatening.
Yeah, Desert Hills pushing all the way out to, again, the 10-yard line right now. See if they can try to punch it in here in the next few plays.
Thought he got a little bit more out of that. They mark him out at the 10. Man in motion. Fooey, hands off. Forward again in the traffic, and he'll get it down near the 7-yard line. That was pretty well defended. Coming in, I believe, Landon Buse making that stop for the Mustangs. They're trying to bend but not break here, Caden. They would love to get a turnover on downs or force the Thunder into a field goal. The way they're running the ball, you almost feel like this is 4-down territory for Rick Barry and the Thunder, though.
It does feel like that for the Thunder. They're definitely hoping it doesn't have to come to that on a 3rd and short here with Noah setting up with 2 backs behind him.
Yeah, heavy personnel package in. They run it. Morris jump cuts back the other way, stiff arm, and he is going to be driven down for a loss outside of the 10-yard line, and he's going to lose a couple, and 3rd and 1 becomes 4th and a long 3 now.
And Morris saw that there was not a hole to his left. He tries to cut back right, but the defense followed along with it, took him down for a loss.
DeCorver makes a great tackle up high. I mean, not a lot of people can single-handedly tackle Tyden Morris up high like Will DeCorver just did. Here we go, 4th down, offense on the field. Tyden Morris hit, pushing, dives, and where did the knee go down? They're going to mark him short, I believe. It's going to be close, but I think the Mustangs have got the 4th down stop and a turnover on downs.
Now that's tough right there. Do you on a 4th down that close, do you go for it, or do you say let's just get points on the board? The Thunder go for it. They might look back at this as one of those moments where you say, man, could we have just gotten those points on the board? But positive for the Thunder, if you can look at it that way. They do have Mountain Crest backed up inside the 10 right now. Mountain Crest, though, they marched last time. Let's see what they can do this time down the field.
Really good start for Mountain Crest. I mean, you score, opening possession. You got a 3-and-out and a goal line stand, basically, and a turnover on downs. Couldn't have scripted it better for Coach Visser. They'll run it, and the tackle is going to be made in the backfield. They'll push ahead and maybe get a little positive yardage there, and that was Kona Crowell on the stop for the Thunder defense.
Now, if you're Mountain Crest, one thing that they did the last drive down the field and what they're doing here is just take those little chunks of yardage when you can get it, establish the run game like you'd mentioned before early on, and that's kind of what they went for right there on that 1st and 10 play. Brings up now 2nd and 8.
Do they go to Will DeCorver here? He's been making plays. No, they're going to run it, and it's going to be stacked up and not much there. Still fighting, but that whistle finally comes, and it was number 25 for the Thunder getting in there, and that's Kealo Liu.
Yeah, Liu getting in there and getting a stop. It's always nice for that defense to be able to gain yardage back, right? So it's going to be a 3rd and long situation here for Mountain Crest, but this offense has proven that they can get the yardage they need to get that 1st down. So Mountain Crest offense here with 1 play left in this set of downs to try to get it before that 4th down.
Yep, 13 seconds left in the first quarter. They're just going to say, let's go to the end of the quarter. So we'll take the full timeout, 60-second timeout. After 1 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard, 7-0. Mountain Crest leads Desert Hills on the Fan.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
390 Equal Housing Lender.
We are back. Devin Dixon, Master, and the third member of our crew, Mark Musgrave. We'll be checking in with Mark here in just a bit as he's roaming the sidelines downfield level. Put 12 minutes on the second quarter clock. Mustangs with the 7-0 lead. And the football, third and long, the 3rd and 11, and false start on Mountain Crest, which will back them half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, that's a break you don't want to have right there for the Mountain Crest offense, getting backed up even further. Now, they still have this third down to try to make something out of it. It's going to be tough when you're backed up that far against your own goal line.
So now, what do? Do you take a shot, straight fade here, Caden?
I feel like you have to. You got to be a little aggressive here when you're backed up that far. If anything, you want to try to get your punter some room in the backfield. But, yeah, maybe a screenplay would do it.
4 receivers set, passing over the middle, and nobody home. No, everybody was running deep, and he threw it underneath, incomplete. And on punt unit will be on, and the Thunder should get good field position.
I don't know if he was expecting one of those receivers to run a curl route, but it looked like all of them were heading out of town. So whatever happened, a little bit of miscommunication there brings up 4th down.
Punter will stand with the heels basically right at the end of the end zone. Got to be careful not to step out of bounds. Not much room at all, and the kick is away from Nicholas Nielsen, and it's going to be returnable from the 40 to the 35. Hit and dropped as he falls forward to the 33-yard line. So 33-yard line is where Desert Hills will have their next possession, their third of the night. Early moments, 11:49 left in the second quarter. And they trail Mountain Crest 7-0. As always, looking to hand out some awards. We'll be naming the Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. We'll also be looking for our Player of the Game, brought to you by Hearst Ace Hardware, located in the heart of Cedar City and St. George. Turnovers tonight brought to you by the Bear Paw. Thanks to all our great partners bringing you semifinal football. Quick toss, Tide Morris looking for a block. Gets it from Talfa up the middle. Lunges ahead. Hit from the back. Taken down at the 15. Tackle made by Carter Nilsson. But not before he rips off about an 18, 19-yard run.
Now, Morris just showing you exactly why he is the way he is. Just getting downfield so fast.
Left tackle, and Tide Morris again down inside the 10. They'll spot him at the 9. It's a pickup of 6.
Now, I want to mention on that previous play as well, just the fact that he's able to get through traffic and read that defense so well to get some of these big gains. This last one, again, about a 5-6 yard gain.
Kona Crowell checks in. Morris checks out. They'll throw it. Outside screen. Mortensen to the 5. Mortensen into the end zone. Reaching at the pylon. He's knocked out early. They mark him out at the 1. But it will be enough for a 1st and goal situation here for the Thunder.
Now, I want to watch this replay if we have it, because Mortensen's saying, I knocked over that pylon. Pretty sure I got in. So on that Holbrook Asphalt replay, did he get in? Let's see.
Watch the feet. The feet are in. The feet are in. I think he did touch the pylon.
He got it. I think he got it.
I think that should have counted. They'll run it up the middle. The hit comes, and is he in?
I think he might be a hair short.
Kona Crowell is going to be ruled short. 2nd down and goal. Heavy package. Here comes Sauta as well as Fleming, and they'll be in the backfield with Bo Wall, the sophomore quarterback. Wall He'll run it behind Sauta. Bo Wall hit, lunges. Did he score? Yes, he did. Touchdown Thunder. They're a PAT away from tying this game. We saw this debut last week against Skyview, and it was the same play call, and it worked again.
It works here, gets them on the board, and a chance to tie things up with an extra point here. But coming up here after the PAT, I want to throw things down to Mark and get his opinion on Taven Mortensen, if he was in or not. He's got a good view of it down there on the sideline, but let's wait for this PAT.
Here is the extra point to tie this game at 7. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is away, and they blow it dead. It didn't count. We'll reset. So Bo Wall scores, and we wait the penalty. And we'll have to retry it. What did you see? Here it comes. It's offsides on Mountain Crest.
Yep, an encroachment on the defense. That happened twice in the previous game, by the way. Once from Ridgeline and once from Crimson Cliffs. So encroachment kind of became a common factor, and it looks like here it is again.
They'll decline it, and the extra point is good. We'll take a 30-second timeout. We're tied at 7 on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Everybody, Devin Diggs, Kincaid, Formaster. I thought I saw him decline the penalty. They went out and had to re-kick it, but it's good. You didn't miss anything. Glad you're with us. 7-7 our score. And let's see if we got the third member of our crew who had a bird's eye view of that touchdown run. Did Taven Mortensen get in? I know they scored. It's a moot point, Mark, but what'd you see down there, buddy?
Yeah, again, being at the right place at the right time. I was about 3 yards away from that play, and even looking at it live, I thought he got in as well. I had about the same angle as the official, so I don't know what he saw, but the Thunder were able to punch it in, so kind of a moot point. But, looking at it live, I thought he had it as well.
All right, thank you, Mark. Mark down the sideline. That update brought to you by our friends at Bo's Auto Parts in the crucial part of the game. Well, maybe early on for the Thunder to tie things up, huh, Caden?
Yeah, definitely. This is very crucial, right? Anytime you have a chance to tie it up, it's a big deal, even if it is only in the second quarter.
Into the end zone, touchback. So Mountain Crest will have another possession. They'll set up shop at their own 20-yard line. And 7-7 our score, 10:39 left on the second quarter clock. They've reached halftime in St. George. Trailblazers lead at the half over SUU. And, of course, we are at SUU. The halftime score, Utah Tech 27, Southern Utah University 22. We'll keep you posted.
Hey, Caden, when you were down here on the side, when you were down here on the sideline, did you have snowballs thrown at you?
No, I did not.
Well, I just had Desert Hills administration throwing snowballs at me.
The fun after a touchdown on the field level continues. A run, quick toss to the left, no gain on the play. And that was well defended. That was number 13, Dante McMurtry on the carry, and Kona Crowell was right there to wrap him up.
Yeah, no gain there, as you mentioned, from Mountain Crest. The Desert Hills defense getting the stop there. And that's what you want to see right now. If you're the defense, you were able to hold them back up against their own goal line before. See if you can do it again. Keep them back in their own territory.
Second down at 10. Again, 10 minutes to go, second quarter. Winner will play Crimson Cliffs next week in the title game. Quick pass outside, it's caught, and the hit comes, and immediately receiver DeCorver goes down. William DeCorver has been busy. He's just a junior, but this kid is a playmaker.
DeCorver's a name you're going to hear a lot. Obviously, we've heard it a lot already, but we'll continue to say it. He's making the plays right now, and tough play right there, being able to come back on it and getting the gain of 4.
Casey Crofts breaks the huddle, drops into the shotgun. McMurtry to his left. Trips to the near side, single receiver to the far side, ball on the far hash. They'll throw it to the near hash, the wide side of the field. It's caught, catch made by Thatcher Phelps, but he is hit and dropped. as Crowell was there to make the stop as well as Jagger Shotwell.
Yeah, defense getting in on it as the ball thrown over there into the flat. And good play by Mountain Crest to try to get that gain, but it just wasn't quite there, and brings up 4th down. Looks like they'll bring out the punting unit for 4th and 4.
And the punt unit will indeed come on. And that means Fooey and Big Red, a.k.a. Titan Morris, can go back to work. Of course, it was Bo Wall that scored the touchdown that tied the game moments ago for Desert Hills. Kick from the 15, low, and Holmes catches it on a bounce, makes a move to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, and steps out of bounds. And good field possession again as they'll start in Mustang territory here in a tie ball game with exactly 8:26 left in quarter number 2.
I kind of like that he took it on the bounce because he's able to read the coverage a little bit more, and in doing so, taking it on the bounce, kind of made a little jab step to his right and took off to his left, able to gain about 10 yards on the punt recovery.
Thunder now go back to work. Fui Latolo coming in. If you say it slow, it's hard to pronounce all the vowels.
Fui Latolo, yeah. It's tough.
He pronounced it for me 5 times in a row, and I still have trouble with it. That's why we call him Fooey. He's going to hand off to Taven Mortensen, a name I can say. And Team Money is going to take it out near the 40-yard line, and that's going to be just, it appears, a yard shy of a first down.
Yeah, Morrison sweeping across the right side there, across to the far side, and gaining 9 on the play. That's what you like to see from a guy like him, able to get out there and get some yardage.
Good blocks by the receivers, including Lincoln Holmes downfield. They'll run it the other side, but they blow the play dead. They were going to Cummings, and Javian was stopped dead in his tracks. With the whistle coming, here's the call. It was thrown by the false start. Okay. Somebody moved on the right side of Desert Hills, or one of the outside receivers.
Yeah, it was a 60 number. I can't quite hear the official, but he said something along the lines of a 60 number. So, yeah, that'll back it up 5 yards there for the Thunder.
It might have been Jerem Wilkins, who's 62, one of the offensive linemen. They'll run scissor action. They'll hand it to Titan Morris, and Big Red to the 30, the 25, with a little stiff arm, carrying a defender a couple extra yards, and he's all the way down to the 15. Titan Morris is starting to get rumbling and tumbling.
That's what you want to see from Morris. We've said it before, is he's the guy, if he gets rolling, then he gets rolling, and he's going to punish that defense. He's doing it time and time again.
And the offensive line is starting to open up some big running lanes for Titan Morris. Fui Latolo going to throw it. Quick hitter. Caught. Getting outside. Holmes down the sideline. Holmes going to have a first down near the 5-yard line. It's 1st and goal, Desert Hills. Just a quick pass play that went for good yardage.
Yeah, they caught him in the flat, and the other receivers that were off on that near side, able to get the blocks that he needed to push it forward to get near the first down. They'll give him 2nd and 1.
Thunder go quick. Hand off to Morris. Morris puts his head down. He's hit by a host of players, led by number 3, Karsten Butters. And there was a wall of Mustangs there to meet Titan Morris.
Yeah, the Mustangs were able to fill in the gaps in the coverage on the run game there and keep him from getting any further, but it didn't stop him from getting that First Credit Union first down at the 5-yard line.
Do they give it to Big Rig again? Titan Morris to the left of Fui Latolo. Nope, they're going to throw. Fui looking. He's under trouble. He's going down. He's sacked at the 11-yard line. Nobody was open. Great coverage in the end zone by the secondary.
Yeah, on the tackle there was number 44, Braden Tannehill for the Mountain Crest Mustangs, getting back there and getting to Noah. Taking him down for a big loss brings up 2nd and goal from the 11.
You can run here if you want to throw it to the Big Rig. Maybe a screen play if you feel like Mountain Crest might be coming. 4-3 defensive front. Man-to-man coverage, or they zone? Looks man right now. Will they drop into zone? No, they're going to stay man. They throw it into the end zone. Mortensen behind everybody, and it's over his head, incomplete.
And Noah throwing that one a little too far. Even if he was able to get to it, would have been out of bounds anyways. So brings up 3rd down here now for the Thunder.
6:41 to go here in the second quarter. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave down the field, Caden Formaster. Appreciate calling back in the studios in St. George here on the Fan. Got Lacey and Paulie and Dusty Allen, our producer, the whole crew bringing you the live stream tonight. No matter where you're watching or listening, thank you. Settle in here. Good one. In the red zone, the Thunder. 3rd and goal. We're tied 7-7. Fooey throwing middle, and it's incomplete. Led his man too far. He was trying to find Lincoln Holmes.
Yeah, Holmes was coming across the middle on a crossing route and just wasn't quite there in time. And looking at the coverage, it looked like there might have been a receiver open on the outside, but you decided to take out that shot in the middle. Just wasn't quite there.
Yeah, I think he just led him a little bit too far. It was good coverage. Kind of just that little slant route over the middle. Or maybe Fooey thought he was going to break a little harder. Not sure, but incomplete field goal. This will be about a 27-yarder. And the kick by Alexander Jones is long enough, and it is good. And Desert Hills has their first lead of the night with 6:32 to go in the second quarter. They lead Mountain Crest 10-7, 30-second timeout, and we're right back here to SUU and 4A state football action.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We're back. Thank you for tuning in. 10-7 now, 27-yarder by Jones, and the Thunder have their first lead of the night. And here is the kickoff. And this one's going to be deep into the end zone. The wind is behind Desert Hills and the kicking team. Cade, what do you think?
Well, that may
8 to 10 miles an hour right now?
Yeah, I would say so. It's not crazy windy out there, but I will say that's probably the deepest kick we've seen today between this game and the previous. When you say that went into the end zone, it went past the end zone. It was out there a ways. So the wind could be becoming a little bit of a factor here as we are approaching that halfway mark of the second quarter.
The American flag is definitely not laying limp in the end zone, as it's got a little bit of a breeze. There you can see the wind, not a stiff wind, but enough to definitely push that out of the back of the end zone. 1st and 10 Mustangs. Out of the gun, Crofts going to hand off. McMurtry hit Fleming there. Also Jagger Shotwell trying to pull him from the backside to minimize the gain. They'll give him about a 3-yard pickup out to the 23, nearly the 24.
Yeah, the Mountain Crest defense there created a hole for just a little bit, but Thunder linebackers coming in to fill it up, so not much of a gain there. 3 yards for the Mustangs.
They're about to start the second half in St. George. Utah Tech leading SUU in college football by 5. That game over on 99.5 FM or 93.1 in Cedar. But thanks for spending your Saturday night here with us. Quick toss. And a little bit of a lane, open field tackle, one-on-one made by Lincoln Holmes, and Olsen goes down just a yard shy of the necessary yardage to move the stick. So 3rd and short coming up.
Yeah, Lincoln Holmes had to cover a lot of ground to get there on the defensive coverage. So it was a good hole there in the field by Mountain Crest, able to get down close to that line to gain 1 yard left here on a 3rd down.
They'll go in under center now. Crofts, quick handoff, and the hit comes. He leans forward. Second effort. Depends on the spot. I don't know if he got it.
From my view, I don't think he did.
No, he
the officials say that he didn't, that it was right back at that line of scrimmage on a 4th down play. Do you go for it? It looks like they might.
Crofts is going to run all the way over and talk with his head coach. Or maybe that's the offensive coordinator. I can't see who that is this far. Let me get my binoculars out. Now he runs back into the huddle. And he'll break the huddle. The play clock is down to 14. Now actually it's down to 10. They run it quick. They go for it. And did they get it? I think they did.
They got it.
The quick hitter, they needed to get the 30. They give him the 31. And that is a huge 4th down deep in your own territory. The gamble pays off for the Mustangs.
We are Utah's financial
crucial part of the game. Sometimes it's these moments right here that you may forget about them later, but you say that 4th down conversion deep in our own territory. If this leads to a score for Mountain Crest, this could be huge when we look back at this play.
No question. Fresh set of downs here. 4 minutes and 29 seconds before halftime. At halftime, Mark's going to catch up with both the coaches, Coach Barry, Coach Visser. Scissor action, play action in the pass. It is caught outside the 41 on the outside the numbers, and that's an 11-yard pickup and another First Credit Union.
First down there by Cooper Gardner, getting out there, getting the line to gain. About an 11-yard reception there by Gardner. Beautiful play by Mountain Crest to get further and further down the field. They're eating away a lot of turf right now.
It's nothing flashy. It's nothing sexy. There's not a lot of movement. There's not a lot of motion. There's not a lot of pulling pieces and movement. It's straightforward, old-fashioned, come-at-you football. That's just a nice little pass route on the boundary. The throw was perfect. The catch was made. And 1st and 10. They'll go quick toss to the right. Olsen has it. Has the edge. Cuts back near midfield. Flags fly. Kona Crowell makes the tackle from the backside. This one might be coming back, though.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the flag was there, but it did look like there was a hole created. And if that hole was created by a hold, it definitely makes some sense. As a matter of fact, it looks like there was a hold on number 47, I believe, for Mountain Crest.
So that'll back him up. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. And they'll replay first down. But now you're behind the chains a little bit here. They have gotten that touchdown pass from Crofts. He hit DeCorver. It was a beautiful throw in the corner of the end zone. But aside from that, nothing really deep. I mean, the deep ball, Caden, if you go back to last week, is what doomed Dixie. There was that 85-yard late in the fourth quarter that broke the tie game and got Mountain Crest into this game. 2 high safeties. And the throw on a screen is caught. Caught it at the 27. Olsen's going to make a man miss to the 40. Breaks the tackle out to the 45. Has the edge and finally tackled by Holmes and driven out of bounds. But a huge first down on a screen pass. It's a 24-yard, maybe a 26-yard gain, depending on the spot on that far sideline.
A big block there by one of the receivers. I think, again, Cooper Gardner made a big block that led to the first down gain by Olsen. So big plays there by Mountain Crest. Backed up on a long first down. A 1st and 20, able to get this First Credit Union first down into Thunder territory.
A lot of nice blocks down the field, and the defensive line did not feel how easy it was to get to the quarterback till it was too late. 1st and 10, Crofts looking to throw, looking, nobody open. He's going to roll to his left. He's going to throw across his body, and it's incomplete. And he'll live to fight another down. There was not much of a window to fit that pass in.
Yeah, he had to throw it out of bounds. That's probably the smart play there, to just get it out of bounds and don't chance any sort of an interception and a turnover right now. Especially, you're moving the ball so well. Keep moving the ball. Don't make any mental mistakes. Throwing it out of bounds, I'm okay with it right now.
So here we go. Mustangs break the huddle with 3:08 on the clock. Left here in the first half. They trailed 10-7. It's the first time they've trailed in this game. Quick toss, cut back, running north and south. Hit comes, and a decent gain. And some pretty good blocking. Jagger shot well again. Stu Taufa converging on the stop. And McMurtry picked up almost 5.
Well, I like what this Mountain Crest offense is doing. They're switching things up enough that this defense isn't quite sure what's coming next. They're either running it up the middle. They're plays like this where they're pitching it back. They have different routes and passing that are keeping things fresh enough that the Thunder defense doesn't quite know what's coming next.
3rd down, here we go. Crofts going to throw, looking over the middle. Gets rid of it. Late developing pass play, but it's open. Catch is made, and here goes Thatcher Phelps. And Thatcher Phelps all the way to the boundary, starts turning north and south, and he picks up the first down inside the Thunder 30. And that is another great design play that worked perfectly.
Yeah, getting out across the middle, and it's always scary when you see a guy running horizontally down the field when they're still not into that first down territory. But in this case, it worked. Able to slip one tackle and get across that line to gain.
Mortensen made the tackle, but not before another big gain and a fresh set of downs again. Crofts going to run a draw play, and right up the middle goes McMurtry, and he's going to take it down to the 20-yard line, give him the 19. It looks like it's another chunk play. Caden, that's another 10-yard gain, and it appears to be right at the chains, and it's a first down.
Yeah, I like what they did here. I haven't seen them run a draw play tonight yet, at least in my recent memory. So a draw play, again, changing things up. I like what Mountain Crest offense is doing here. They're playing some really good ball right now.
10-7, Desert Hills leading Mountain Crest. 1:40 left here in the first half. Clock is ticking. Play clock is down to 12. They're still in the huddle. Now it's down to 10. They're going to have to go quick here or maybe use a timeout. Play clock down to 4. And here comes the snap with 2. It's quarterback draw up the middle. And diving tackle. And Sauta just got enough. Crofts, though, falls forward for another decent gain. They'll mark him down at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, that quarterback draw play put him in far enough into the Cache Valley Bank red zone now that the Thunder defense has to make something happen right now if you're going to try to get into halftime. Again, a minute on the clock right now. Get into halftime with that lead.
Halftime coming, presented by Rally Stop. Right now, though, who will have the lead at the half? Mountain Crest trying to retake it. Throwing it outside, short hop the receiver. It's incomplete. Intended receiver was Jackson Bitten. But Cross kind of lobbed that one and just never got to him.
Yeah, it was a little underthrown there. If anything, it does stop the clock. You're getting closer, and 46 seconds left in the half here. Mountain Crest definitely wants to have that lead going into the half.
They'll break the huddle here with 15 on the play clock. It's 3rd down and 5. Got to get it right to the 10. Looking for the toss outside. A big hole up the middle, and Olsen cuts into it. He might score. To the 5-1 guy. Can't get to him. Touchdown. It's a huge touchdown run late in the second quarter by Carson Olsen, the senior.
You mentioned it in the play right there. Big hole created. And easy run in for the touchdown there for the Mustangs.
14-yard touchdown run by Carson Olsen. And Mountain Crest has retaken the lead with just 38 ticks left in the first half. How about that? There's the Holbrook Asphalt replay. That offensive line. How about the offensive line for both teams, basically? Just blowing some big holes for the running backs to run through. That kick pulled a little left side, but it gets through. And all of a sudden, we got a lead change again. Seesaw battle continues. It's 14-10. Mountain Crest back on top. And they didn't leave Desert Hills much time here, Caden.
No, I don't expect Desert Hills to really try to force it downfield after this UD and Associates kickoff. But that does mean that they know what to expect coming out of the half right now. Just take this moment to play it safe and don't make any mistakes. And go into halftime, you're going to be down 14-10. Come back out of halftime and make something happen. The problem is, though, I believe Mountain Crest is getting the ball back to start the half.
Yep. They did win the toss. They did defer. And so now Desert Hills maybe will be content to take a shot or two, or maybe they'll be content to just run out the clock. We'll find out what Coach Barry decides to do here. It probably depends a little bit on how good a kickoff return they have, quite frankly.
Yeah, I mean, if you return it all the way out past the 50, you might try to make something happen, right? You might take a couple shots downfield, but if it sails in the back of the end zone, which might be tough, kicking into the wind right now, we'll see what will happen here for this Desert Hills special teams and upcoming offense.
Tonight's game brought to you by Morgan Pest Control. Thank you, Morgan Pest Control. Kickoff is going to be returnable from the 5. And here comes Kona Crowell. Crowell is going to put on the brakes and go to the middle of the field. Now he's trying to get to the left side of the field. He's going to be hit and dropped, and he's going to get it to the 27, and that was about it. A lot of running for about a 22-yard gain, but not a bad return.
He ran probably a solid 50 to 60 yards. The only problem was too many of those yards were horizontal, but I like the idea. Try to get open. That does leave 26 seconds on the clock now for this Thunder offense, stuck behind that 30-yard line down to the 28.
Play did take about 7 seconds off of the game clock. 26 seconds. Fuilatolo going to be draw play. Tide Morris is leveled. And the ball, did it stay in his hands? Yes, it did. Tackled by number 17. He almost took the hand off. That was Porter Kennington.
Yeah, not anything there for the Thunder. And
somebody missed the block.
Yeah, but they let the clock tick. 6 seconds left. So they'll take this one all the way into the half, it looks like. Unless they might Yeah, they'll take it into the half here. I was going to say they might get down, but that's the end of the half. So good first half of play there by Mountain Crest, getting on top 14-10.
All right, we're going to see if Mark Musgrave can catch up with one of the coaches. But in the meantime, we got a good one on our hands. At the half, it is 14-10. Mountain Crest has the lead over Desert Hills. And we'll go down to Mark Musgrave, who is standing by with Coach Rick Berry. And Mark, let's send it down to you. Let's see what Coach Berry has to say.
Thank you, Devin. Coach Barry, it's 14-10. What's your assessment of the first half so far for your team?
Well, we got to execute. We haven't executed on either side of the ball at all. So we just got to come back in, regroup. We're moving the ball, all right, but we get in the red zone. We don't execute. Defensively, we're just blowing assignments, So right now it's on us. We just got to go in and execute and do a better job.
Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mark.
There you guys have it, guys.
Thanks, Mark. Kane, what do you think? Execution. Didn't like it in that first half. They're down by 4.
Yeah, that's definitely an understandable statement there from Coach Barry. Execution is huge right now. You're at a level where you got to remember, this is for the semifinals. You want to get into that championship game. Execution definitely is key. I think he's right about that. Coming out of the half, see if that offense can make that happen. They had that play all the way down there close to the goal line. It just wasn't there, and we'll talk about that more in the Rally Stop halftime show.
Mustangs have the lead here, and we'll take a 3-minute timeout. And like Kane said, we'll get back with stats, reaction. We'll also try to catch up with Coach Visser if we can. And we got it all for you here in the halftime report coming up after this 3-minute timeout. At the half on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard, Mountain Crest with the lead 14-10 over Desert Hills.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend. Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
Thursday's Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. Hearst General Store, the Big A store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
6988 and 12526-390 Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back, everybody. Tim Slime. And at break 14-10, Mountain Crest, the 6th seed, leading the 2 seed here at the break. And halftime brought to you by Rally Stop. And welcome officially into the Rally Stop halftime show. After cheering on your favorite team, not a better place to refuel, grab some snacks. Before or after your next sporting event, hit up Rally Stop. They got your celebration needs for a big win, and we'll see which team can get the big win. Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster up in the booth, Mark Musgrave down on the field. And right now, Coach Barry's saying execution on both sides of the ball not as good as he wants it to be. And so they're going to have to get on the whiteboard and make some adjustments, it looks like.
Yeah, when you look at this game so far offensively for the Thunder, they've made big things happen. A lot of it thanks to Tyden Morris, right? He's been able to go through and bully his way in for large gains. But the problem is they end up in third down situations. And too many times just haven't been able to convert them. One of them obviously was down there close to the goal line. And in a fourth down, could not convert that fourth down, turnover on downs. And that was kind of a bit of a changing point for them, right? Earlier we talked about what Mountain Crest has been able to do, and we talked about the fourth down they had. They converted that fourth down, and it led to a touchdown. So fourth down conversions and even third down conversions are going to be huge in the second half.
Take a look at the scoring summary. If you tuned in late in this game, we got it going with a nice little 19-yard pass from Casey Crofts, the Mustang quarterback, as he hit Will DeCorver in the corner. And it was double-teamed, Caden, but DeCorver just made a great play, and he got both feet in bounds. It almost looked like simultaneous possession, but when he rolled off of the pile, he had the ball, and I think the right call to give the Mustangs that early 7-0 lead.
Yeah, DeCorver, the junior receiver for Mountain Crest, is looking really good out there tonight there for the Mustangs. He's made some big plays, including the big scoring play like you talked about. That was a toss-up ball. It was a 50-50 ball, and he came down with it. That's what you want to see from your receivers. When the 50-50s come, can they bring them down? In this instance, he did.
Took the third possession of the game before Desert Hills scored. They scored with 10:39 in the second quarter. It was some heavy lifting by Tyden Morris. The big rig was rumbling and tumbling. At the half, he's got 13 carries, 86 yards, but it was Bo Wall that came in with their heavy package. They had Sauta and Fleming, and he just followed the big guys through the hole and scored from 1 yard out. And at that point, it was tied 7-7. Then Desert Hills got a stop, went down, had to settle for a 28-yard field goal by Xander Jones. And at that point, they had the lead at 10-7, but then with 38 seconds to go in the second quarter, right before the half, Carson Olsen with a beautiful, beautiful play, and he scores on a 14-yard touchdown run. Judd Wells kicked the PAT, and that's where we sit at 14-10. Tyden Morris has 86 yards rushing. Zach Ford has 4 carries for 22 yards. Mountain Crest being led by Dante McMurtry, 9 carries for 30 yards, but it's Carson Olsen, 5 carries, 29 yards, but he has that important touchdown that has given his team the lead at the break. How about this? Desert Hills not throwing the ball like normal. Noah Fuatolo just 4 out of 8 for 32 yards. Meanwhile, Casey Crofts 8 out of 13 for 83 yards and a score. Obviously, Desert Hills might have to throw the ball a little bit more in the second half, but they did have a lot of good run plays, and they were really getting some nice blocks down the field by the receivers, and the offensive line for both these teams, I thought, played pretty well in the first half.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Both of these teams have had moments where they shine. They make it look like it's easy, but then there's those moments where just a few plays in a row where things just kind of get stopped dead in their tracks. And those mistakes, some of those mental errors, I think, can be worked on here at halftime. And can Desert Hills come out and make a stop and get on the board and take the lead? Who's to say? Can Mountain Crest extend this lead, right? That's another big question here. They're going to get the ball to start the half. So extending the lead here right now for Mountain Crest would be huge.
No question. No question. All right, let's do this. Let's take another timeout. When we come back with Mountain Crest leading Desert Hills 14-10 here inside our Rally Stop halftime show, we'll recap the earlier game. We'll talk second half adjustments, and we'll try to get you some scores from across the state playoffs, and we'll get you a Utah Tech SUU score up as that game is going on right now down in St. George. 2-minute timeout, more of the Rally Stop halftime show when we continue here from Eccles Coliseum inside the 4A state playoffs. A chance to punch their ticket coming in the second half to meet Crimson Cliffs. Stay with us. Back in 2 minutes.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on StGeorgeNews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at StGeorgeNews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend. Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at StGeorgeNews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit HolbrookAsphalt.com to discover more.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
For your auto parts needs.
Hey, we're back, everybody, and Coach Visser is down on the field with our guy, Mark Musgrave. Mark, go ahead, Mark.
Coach, you went into halftime 14-10. What was the message to your team?
That we're in a dogfight. You know, it's going to be a four-quarter game. We knew that coming in, and that I got one more half to go to the state championship. So give it all you got.
Thank you. Good luck second half. There you go, guys.
Thank you, Mark. Coach Visser, give it all you got. Pretty short, pretty sweet, but definitely don't want to have any regrets, right? I mean, a lot of these seniors probably want to leave it all on the field, and they don't want to go home all the way back to Hiram, Utah with the loss. And they got a 4-point lead at the half. Second half adjustments here brought to you by Finley Hyundai. And, Caden, what do you think was some of the other messages going on from Coach Visser in that Mountain Crest locker room?
Well, I think you're right about that. Which team wants it more? And right now, Mountain Crest is playing like they want it. They're going to go out there and push and push and push against the Thunder defense, against the Thunder offense. They're going to not make it easy on Desert Hills, and they're proving it right now. They have the lead 14-10. The big question is, what did Desert Hills learn in the halftime there? Because they're the ones that are now playing from behind. That's a tough position to be in here in the second half.
No question about it. Desert Hills, Coach Barry, when he talked with Coach Barry, talked with Mark Musgrave going in the locker room, he wasn't very happy. I don't think he liked, and I don't know exactly what he'll do, but obviously 50% completion, but they only threw the ball. They had a couple third and short and a fourth and short where they got stuffed in the red zone at the 10-yard line. They went backwards on a couple of plays, had a couple penalties. It just wasn't a clean half for this Desert Hills team, the number 2 seed coming into this semifinal game.
Well, and if I'm Coach Barry, I'm probably not too happy with the first half either, right? They obviously are trailing in the half is one thing, but their lack of converting that fourth down close to the goal line, that was big. They just need to make those plays. They need to stay consistent with with their offensive game. And the defense, they let Mountain Crest march all the way down after that kickoff, starting things off at the 20-yard line, marching all the way down full 80 into the end zone. So defense has to make stops for the Thunder. Offense has to continue to make those gains.
I promise you a score update. Let's go down the I-15 freeway. It's the feud on 15, the battle between Black Ridge, the Red Rock rivalry. You can call it whatever you want, but it is Utah Tech trying to get the battle axe back to St. George and keep it in St. George after losing 31-17 earlier in the season. Vic Gabalis, Joey Hobart, 39-yard touchdown. That is his second TD tonight. He's got 11 on the season. He's 2 away from tying, 3 away from breaking the all-time single season touchdown reception mark of 13, and they are up by 12. Utah Tech leads SUU 34-22. Heck of a game going on down there right now. Kind of like this one, still anybody's game.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I have a pull up over here on our screen as well, so I can stay updated with that game as much as possible. And, both teams, Southern Utah teams representing the area here. I just like to see that in itself, right? This is a matchup we hadn't seen a ton of until both teams now in the same conference. It's kind of fun to see Utah Tech and SUU face off.
Yeah, and how about Ricky Johnson, 7 catches, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. Joey Hobart, 8 catches, 144 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Vic Gabalis, 22 of 31, 354, and 4 TDs. Justin Miller's hot too, but he's 13 of 16, 158. But he has been sacked 5 times. They're putting some pressure on Justin Miller.
Yeah, that Utah Tech defense has been they've been rolling lately. They've been doing a lot of big time things out there, right? That defense definitely feeling it this second half of the season.
Of course, a lot of state playoff games across the state of Utah. On this field earlier today, Canyon View lost to Juab, and then Morgan turned around and won in the 1 o'clock game. So for the 3A championship, Morgan and Juab, 2 perennial powerhouses, will meet. So that, and then of course, if you're just tuning in, didn't watch earlier, it was Crimson that wins by 14 points, and the defending state champ Ridgeline River Hawks are out. Good win for the Mustangs, and Coach Wayne Alafopo has to be pleased with the way they played. Offense was led by Barbara with 3 touchdowns. Ty West caught 1 and had a kick return, and the defense had 5 takeaways. Second half ready to go. Kickoff is going to be booming into the end zone for the touchback, and Mountain Crest will have the opening possession, setting up shop at their own 20-yard line. Appreciate Rally Stop bringing the halftime show. After the game, go grab some snacks, drinks at Rally Stop before your final destination tonight. We'll be looking for the Appliance Wholesaler Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. I think it's still to come, our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game. And we've got a lot of other awards. The player of the game, the defensive play of the game, the sub of the game from Jersey Mike's. We got a lot of things to watch for in a 4-point game as Mountain Crest ready to go with the first offensive play of half number 2. Out of the gun, Casey Crofts going to hand off. Carson Olson hit, and he'll fall forward. It's a pickup of 3 out to the 23.
So Mountain Crest starting things off here in the second half. I like that they just got it on the ground. Sometimes you just need to play like that, gain 3 yards, and just start to pick up momentum again. Coming out of halftime can be tough, so getting momentum back in your hands is huge right now for the Mustangs.
Second down and 7. Crofts out of the gun, backs to each side. He'll give it to McMurtry. McMurtry hit by Kona Crowell, and then help comes, and Sauta finishes them off. That is not Sauta that finished them off. That is Fleming. Big number 75, Bridger Fleming, just a junior. Was about 6'2", 265.
Now, the ball popped out for a second there, but I think they called him down. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Dante McMurtry was able to hop on it. So either way, Mountain Crest retains possession here on the 3rd down.
They break the huddle. 3rd down and 3 to go here. Opening possession, half number 2. 14-10. Mountain Crest has the lead on Desert Hills. Winner gets Crimson Cliffs. And now we've got a stoppage. And, an early timeout for Coach Visser, I think. Fabulous Freddy's timeout.
Yeah, I don't think he liked what he saw there.
All right, well, Gives us a chance while we have a break to thank some of our Mountain Crest sponsors that have been with the Mustangs all season long. Adams Wealth Advisors. And, of course, you can visit adamswealthadvisors.com. Check out all the great products and services in the financial world. Appreciate Great Basin Graphics, McDonald's, the Logo Shop, Napa Auto Parts, Planet Fitness, Express Auto and Tire up there in Cache Valley. Appreciate them. Les Olson Company, New Horizons Beauty College, D&D Auto and Salvage, Mountain Crest Booster Club, State Farm, agent Lana Powell, and CacheValleyDaily.com, all bringing you Mountain Crest football here on the simulcast. Glad you're with us. Devin Dixon, Caden Formmaster, and down on the field, it is Mark Musgrave out of the timeout. Casey Crofts ready to go to work. 3rd down and 3. Here we go. Big time play here. Early moments. No pressure. Has time. Crossing route. And it's intercepted through the receiver's hands. And it's picked up by Cyrus Polu. And Polo to the 10. And Polo to the 5. And Polo to the pay dirt touchdown pick 6. Oh my goodness. Desert Hills is back on top. Cyrus Polo, I see you, bud.
Cyrus Polo getting in there for that Finley Hyundai touchdown off of the pick. Beautiful play here and great block as well around the 10-yard line that led to that score.
The concentration to get it on a deflection. No flags, and that's a little better execution for Coach Rick Barry's liking, who is not only the head coach but the defensive coordinator. And that probably should have been caught, Caden.
It should have. You're right about that.
But instead, maybe our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game just happened. And who would have thunk? Oh, the block! And it's going to be the lead for the Thunder, but 16-14. Ooh. 30-second timeout. 16-14 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Things getting exciting here in the semis. Stay with us.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, Equal Housing.
Lynn Drive.
Hey, great job by our camera crew to catch that pick 6. And thanks for watching and listening. And for those of you listening, it was a deflection on the crossing route. Polo reacted maybe 5-6 yards behind the tip, caught it about the waist high, and then took it from the middle of the field all the way down the sideline for the score. And Desert Hills has the PAT blocked. It goes kickoff into the end zone, touchback. Cyrus Polu with our Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game so far, huh, Caden?
Yeah, I definitely would say so. It's definitely the biggest defensive play that we've seen. Anytime you get a pick 6, it's going to go to the top of your list.
Yeah, a little concerning the extra point blocked. So 16-14, and Mountain Crest will go back to work. Out of the shotgun, single back to the left, sidecar, and he'll toss a quick pitch to McMurtry. He's bottled up, hit, and dropped. He's going to lose about 5. Desert Hills storming that play. Lou was...
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on...
King of Thunder.
Yeah, big drop there for the...
Hey, guys.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Mark.
Mark, yeah.
I was just talking to Jesse Shipp from one of our AWP, and he said, how would you like to get in front of Cy Polu and try to tackle him when he's going to pay dirt? And I said, no way. I'll tell you what, I saw those defenders, and they really had no shot to get Cy Polu.
Yeah, he's just a sophomore. I heard he went on an official visit to BYU, and they already offered, I don't know if that's true or not, but this kid's going to be a next-level player, no doubt about it. And an interception again is Cyrus Polu. Polu can score again, 20-15, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 10. It's not a pick six, but it's another pick, and Polu is making plays for the Thunder defense.
Now, Polu taking the playoffs to heart and saying, it is our time to play aggressive, and he's playing aggressive. I feel like I just had deja vu, Devin.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. I would throw away from him right now.
Well, again, it was the same thing. A pass across the middle. Cyrus reads it perfectly, catches it in stride, and takes off back towards the end zone, and this time getting it inside the 10. It's a 1st and goal here for the Thunder.
They'll spot this ball down at about the 7-yard line. They'll put a man in motion. Huilatolo out of the gun. He's going to hand off, and flags fly. Tyden Moore's going to put his shoulder down. He's going to bulldoze, and he's going to be near the end zone, marked out at the 1, and we'll wait the penalty. No, they signal touchdown.
Official says touchdown. I think a penalty might bring it back, but...
Okay. Wow, this game has gotten interesting.
I'm a bit confused because the official that threw the flag is also the one that signaled for the touchdown.
It's going to be against the Thunder. So the replay 1st down. I couldn't catch the number. So the touchdown wiped away. I'm not sure he scored. I think the official...
Hey, guys, it was actually...
Let's go down the field to Mark Musgrave. Mark, what do you got?
It was actually number 11. It was Cummings who wasn't lined up on the line, and Coach Barry was screaming for a timeout but didn't get it.
They run it to Tyden Morris. They fake the jet sweep to Cummings, and Tyden Morris down inside the 5 near the 3-yard line. I think Tyden needs to get paid off here.
Yeah, Tyden needs his moment right here, and they're definitely trying. Here he goes again.
Puts his head down, fighting, stretching. Did he stretch out? Yes, he did. He put the ball out, and they signal touchdown Thunder.
Tyden Morris getting what he is due, getting the 6 points on the board. It's another Finley Hyundai touchdown for the Thunder.
Touchdown, Tyden Morris, officially from 3 yards out, 2.5 yards out. Tyden Morris with the rushing TD, and they won't try to go for 2 here. Not going to chase points. Going to go ahead and, even though the last one was blocked, they're going to try the extra point. So Jones is on, and here comes the snap. Hold is down. Alexander Jones' kick is up, and it is good. And it is now Desert Hills leading on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard, 23-14 with 8:57 left in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout here on The Fan and KSLSports.com.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend. Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Fast, frequent, and fabulous.
Seconds, Desert Hills went from being down 14-10 to being up 23-14 in 3:03. 2 pick sixes by Cyrus Polu, and they have stolen the momentum away from Mountain Crest, Caden.
Yeah, they have. In fact, actually, after the field goal, there was a penalty on Mountain Crest. So you can see now Desert Hills kicking off from the 45-yard line of Mountain Crest territory. Shouldn't be any problem to get a touchback here.
Nope. So 23-14 our score. The penalty enforced on the kickoff, probably just kick it into the end zone. They'll squib it, but it goes into the end zone. So Mountain Crest will take over at the 20. And all of a sudden, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to just straight up come out and try to overpower Desert Hills with the run game, because all of a sudden, you're down by 9 points.
Yeah, for
largest
sure.
lead of the game for the Thunder.
For sure. And, hey, I want to give a quick shout-out to that Utah Tech SUU game with A big reception from good old number 13, Devin.
Another one?
A big one, a 70-so yarder brought back for a touchdown. So Utah Tech extends their lead.
Wow, he's amazing. Made a captain earlier in the year. His dad was Billy Joe Hobart, 9 years in the NFL. Joey Hobart's a stud. Carson Olsen off the left side, had a little crease, 5-yard gain near the 25-yard line. You like 5 yards on first down. And even though I said it's going to be a little more difficult, they're not going to stop trying to run the ball. There's still a long way to go. I mean, we're still 8:40 and ticking left in the third quarter.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time to play. They're down by 2 scores, right? Mountain Crest has time to make that up for sure.
Out of the shotgun with 2 backs in the backfield. McMurtry to the left, Carson Olsen to Casey Cross right. They're going to give it to McMurtry. McMurtry hits the hole, but there's no hole. The hole is shut down by Viliama. Sauta, and then a flag comes in. Was that excessive?
I think they're going to say it was excessive. It didn't feel excessive to me. It kind of felt like he was just sitting there and, the leg was stuck between him and the ground. But
well, if the whistle blows and we can't hear the whistle, momentum is stopped. He's got one leg and he kind of kept going all the way to the ground. He never let go. I can see that. But that's what you're supposed to do, finish the play. You're supposed to take him to the ground. It is football, but when the whistle blows, it's hard to let go sometimes, and that costs the Thunder 15 yards.
Sometimes you got to let your pride go, right, and just let go of the play.
So now, 1st and 10 out across the 40. They'll snap this ball from their own 43. Mustangs down by 9. Desert Hills has the lead. Quick pass outside, and it is incomplete. Looked like Mortensen was going to intercept it. Crowell knocked him down, and a flag comes in late. Wow.
Yeah, they're going to give that a pass interference call about 5 seconds.
Let's take a look here on the replay. The throw. I don't know. Tough call.
I see why they called it. There were some hands there.
Mortensen whiffed.
By Kona Crowell.
Mortensen never touched the receiver, so it had to be on Kona.
It was Kona. Kona had his hands out, and I think that's what the official saw.
You can hear the boo birds from the Thunder sideline.
Well, let's talk about this now. These 2 penalties, right now you could have them backed up around the 20-yard line. Instead, they're all the way down to the 42 inside Thunder territory. So Thunder, 2 big penalties have played huge here for Mountain Crest.
4-man front defensively. 4 receiver set offensively, 2 by 2. Cross looking to throw to the left. Over the middle, he has his man. It's a catch. And it's a nice little gain of 8 to William DeCorver down to the 34-yard line of Desert Hills.
Yeah, it's a good gain there by Mountain Crest, getting down, again, crossing over that threshold of the 35-yard line. But injury timeout here now for the Thunder.
Gives us a chance to thank Bear Paw. Had back-to-back Bear Paw turnovers to start this half. Both interceptions by Cyrus Polu. He's a playmaker. And, of course, Nets on Fire gives you all our local score updates. The premier training and event facility in Southern Utah, centered around your athlete, building champions on and off the court. Learn more. Training packages available at netsonfire.org. SUU has scored, PAT pending, but Utah Tech still leads 34-28. That game is just a battle. Here it's a battle too. Taking a shot down the sideline, trying to find DeCorver, and Hunter Clark on coverage was in a good position, and it's incomplete. Even if he gets to that football, the throw would have let him out of bounds.
Yeah, absolutely. It just wasn't quite there, and it brings up a 3rd and short here for the Mustangs. Now, Thunder, this is a stop that they need. They're far enough back. They'll probably go for it on a 4th down. But, who's to say? We'll see what happens here after this play.
They're going to run a draw play. Carson Olsen hit, and he bounces off a would-be tackle. Still fighting for extra yardage all the way down to the 25-yard line. What a hard-nosed run by Olsen.
Yeah, beautiful run there. Anytime you can take a hit and keep on moving, that's going to play well for your team, right? And in this case, it was enough for a first down plus a few more.
Shotwell just tried to take him on high and knock him over instead of going low and wrapping him up. They'll put the Corver out to the left. Olsen to the left of Crofts. Mountain Crest quarterback in the shotgun. He's going to run it to Olsen. And he's going to get a nice little crease. Shotwell makes the stop, but not until he got second level. And it's a nice pickup of at least 5 yards down to the 20. Just inside the 20, they'll spot it.
Yeah, puts him in that Cache Valley Bank red zone, right? So the Mustangs, this is kind of what they did in the last drive that they scored on. Just take the yardage where you can get it. And the Thunder are going to look back at both of those penalties right here. And they're going to feel like they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit.
Out of the gun. Here's Crofts going to throw. Looking over the middle, delivers the football in traffic, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And that was number 19, Cooper Gardner. One of the captains. Haven't called his name much tonight. In fact, I don't even think he's got a catch yet, Caden.
He had one catch from earlier that got him a first down, but that's it. Only one so far tonight. But that one, again, it was well placed, just could not bring it in.
So here we go now. This is a big third down. Probably 4-down territory. The snap goes high. Crofts goes and gets it. Rolling to the right. He's sacked back outside the 32-yard line. Guess who? Cyrus Polu again.
Now, right now, if you're the Thunder, this is what you wanted, right? You needed to make a big defensive stance. It brings up 4th down, and now it's a 4th and very long from about I think they put it at the 31-yard line.
Did you see how quick Cyrus Polu got to Crofts? I mean, somebody's got to block that kid. But he flew into the backfield as soon as he saw that snap get over the quarterback's head. And this is Cyrus Polu's quarter. We're all just enjoying it.
Yeah, Cyrus Polu is a name that we've heard even from last year when he was a freshman. He got some time out there on the field. But he's a guy we're going to see a lot over the next few years. And I know the Thunder are going to love having him on that roster.
23-14 our score. We got a timeout. Mountain Crest needs to talk things over. 30-second break. Timeout's brought to you by Fabulous Freddy's. Coupon books on sale. 2 Southern Utah locations. 5:24 left in the third when we return on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit HolbrookAsphalt.com to discover more.
Plus.com.
Devin Dixon, Kate Cormaster, and Mark Musgrave. And Mark, let's go down to Mark after this big 4th down. Mountain Crest going to stay with the offense here. It is 4th down and 17 from the 31 in movement. Let's go down to Mark while they sort out this penalty. Mark?
Yeah, just an update on Javian Cummings. He came out a few plays ago on defense. They've checked him out. Looks like he will return, so keep an eye for number 7, Javian Cummings, coming back into the game.
All right, well, that's good news. Thank you, Mark. And this is going to be a movement, false start. And you hate it because as soon as the center flinched, he paid for it, Caden, and then he gets the penalty called on him.
He did. We saw there on the video that, yeah, he took a little bit of a shot in the sportsmanship from Thunder pulling back up.
Crofts now 4th down and long, under pressure, rolling to the right, near the boundary, dumps it away. And Desert Hills gets a turnover on downs. They'll have the football and the lead, 23-14. Thunder on top with 5 minutes and 16 seconds left here in the third quarter.
It was good coverage there by the Thunder. They really didn't give Crofts much of a shot to find anything open, right? So the coverage there by the Thunder, creating some, in turn now, some offense.
Here comes Noah Huilatolo, senior quarterback, playing with a torn ACL, rehab for like 4 weeks, braced it up and toughing it out. They're running it to Morris. He bounces off a would-be tackle, breaks another tackle from the backside, and he turns a little lime and a lemonade out across the 41 near the 42-yard line.
One thing I like about Tyden Morris in this situation, he sees the defenders coming up to him, 2 of them, he just splits them with his head down and pushes forward and gains another extra 2 yards after the hit.
Final score update for you BYU fans, 31-28. The final game for maybe a long time against Boise State, and they win by 3, and they break the 0 for October losing streak. They'd lost 4 in a row. Cyrus Polu's going to get a carry on a jet sweep, waiting for blocks. Cuts back, has a crease, cross midfield, down to the 45, diving ahead to the 42-yard line. Cyrus Polu is the Swiss Army knife tonight.
Well, it's no question that this kid's athletic, and he proves it right here on this run, right? He follows his blockers across the side, finds his hole, goes through it, slips a tackle, and gets taken down after a huge gain.
Tackle made by Jackson Butters. Run to Holmes. Holmes breaks the tackle. And Holmes will get it down inside the 40. Pickup of 6. Link there. Tries the left side. And Mountain Crest seems like they're on their heels a little bit at this point in time. With 4:32 left in the third quarter. And Desert Hills up 23-14 on the scoreboard. Tonight's game brought to you by Luke Udy, American Family Insurance. Get a free quote today with Luke. Stiff arm, Polu breaks it. Excuse me, that's Kona Crowell. Crowell's going to move the chains. A U First Credit Union first down to the 30. A pickup of 8 more.
A flag does come out on that play, so this one could be brought back. Let's see what the officials have to say about it. But if it stands, it is enough for a first down.
It's kind of thrown in the vicinity of a hold, maybe.
Yeah, that's going to go back against Desert Hills.
Yep, holding on the Thunder. So that'll back the Thunder up. Would have been a first down.
Yeah, instead it's a 2nd and 10 now for him, right? So didn't back him up too much, but you still don't want to see it.
Tyden Morris had 105 yards and a touchdown tonight. They don't run it on the outside. They kind of scissor action back to Kona Crowell, who ends up with the ball, and he gets to the 40, or just shy of the 40, short gain of 2.
Yeah, not much there. It does bring up 3rd down and decently long here with the 3rd and 7 for this Thunder offense. They've been moving the ball pretty well, but this is a big one. They got to convert it.
And all of this is really coming on the ground. They are not even looking to throw the football. Jet sweep. Here's Holmes. Holmes goes out of bounds. Short of the first down. Maybe on 3rd and long, you'd like to see Link cut that back up and try to get that first down. But it'll be 4th down, and you're kind of in no man's land. So it looks like Coach Berry's going to leave the offense out there. Too long to try a field goal.
Well, and I'm happy with that decision. Like you say, too long for a field goal, pretty short for a punt. You already have the lead, and the offense has been moving the ball well enough. 3 yards to gain here on a 4th down. I'm happy with the decision to leave the offense out.
Huilatolo, ready to throw. Fui, hard count. Maybe they're not going to snap it yet. Going to take the play clock down to 7. And then maybe they're going to go. They're going to go with 5. Here's Fui throwing underneath. Got it. Mortensen, money catch there to the 29, and that'll move the chains. Another U First Credit Union.
First down there by Taven Mortensen on the little out curl route. That's exactly what I was hoping to see, right? It doesn't have to be anything flashy. Just get the first down mark, and they did by a few yards. It's
great throw on the money, right into the numbers. Mortensen made sure he knew where he was at, near the boundary, got his feet down. Huge first down. Thunder lead by 9 on the drive here to the 29 of Mountain Crest. 5-man front. They throw it, swing pass outside, caught by Link. Link trying to get a block by Cummings, and he goes out of bounds. Short gain on the play of a couple.
They got a few yards there, and right now the Thunder are in a position where they just want to retain possession of the ball as long as possible and run as much of that clock as they can while still trying to get down and score, right? You want to score, but you don't have to throw those long balls. Just eat away a few yards at a time.
And watch the battle, the left tackle, Stu Taufa, on this play. You're going to swing it. And Morris is going to have a little crease. Running north and south down to the 15-yard line. There's the big rig, Tyden Morris.
Tyden Morris doing what he does this time on a reception, finding the holes and getting down for a First Credit Union first down. Beautiful play there by the Thunder.
Into the red zone. Appreciate Cache Valley Bank, our red zone sponsor all season long. Thunder already have the largest lead of the game at 9. They're looking for more play action pass. It's caught over the middle, down to the 7. And a nice throw to Holmes. Holmes reeled it in and was tackled immediately.
Yeah, the Thunder, again, as we said before, moving the ball quick and right now getting set up quick.
Bowie, handoff. And it's just a quick little read play. He hands it to Tyden Morris. And Morris near the 5. I think they'll mark it back at the 6. And he does not get the first down.
Yep, just a yard short there. Gained 1, but still not quite enough for that first down.
3rd and half a yard to go. Throw it. Caught by Mortensen. Mortensen cuts back. Mortensen is going to have the first down. Stop near the 3. Good tackle there to save a touchdown. For a second, it looked like Mortensen might break away, but a tackle made by Dax Benson.
Yeah, and it looked like, was that Stu down there trying to pull him along, saying, come on, let's get it.
Benson had a little help. Jackson Bitten was there too. Just a sophomore. Fooey, hand signaling, looking at the sideline, 2-back set. Morris to the right, Crowell to his left. They give it to Morris. A little bit of a jump cut because a guy got into the backfield, and I think that kind of disrupted that play. Getting in the backfield was Porter Kennington, and down goes Morris. And Kennington didn't make the tackle, Caden, but he disrupted that play.
Yeah, that's a big thing, big move right there. Just slipping through the holes in that offensive line and getting into that backfield. Like you say, disruption, that's still a big play for the defense.
Braden Tannehill was the guy that ended up making the tackle. Ball on the 5, late 3rd quarter. Fui Lotolo going to throw into the end zone and off the fingertips of a one-handed grab attempted by Cyrus Polu. He's got a pick 6, a pick, and he nearly had another touchdown. And now they're going to bring that heavy personnel in. Here comes Bo Wall, the sophomore quarterback, with Bridger Fleming as well as Sauta. Wildcat, they're going to run it behind Viliama, Sauta, and Sauta makes the block, and Bo Wall scores the touchdown, 5-yard touchdown run, his second of the night.
Just an easy play there. Some flags come flying afterwards, little extracurricular activities there by the guys out on the field.
Sauta absolutely blocked the defender off his feet. Now, was the flag post play, Caden?
It definitely was post play.
So the touchdown will stand. And they'll probably elect to take the penalty on the kickoff, I would assume.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting set up. Yeah, well, they're going to go talk to Coach Barry. So whatever it was, it went against Mountain Crest. Mark's down on the sideline. I wonder if Mark can give us a little bit more information as far as maybe what he saw. Because, again, it looked like there's a little bit of extracurriculars going on down there.
Tannehill, maybe frustration, some retaliation, not sure. They'll enforce it on the kickoff. So with 1:15 left in the 3rd quarter, 29-14, Desert Hills, if they get the PAT, is on a 20-0 run here in the second half after trailing 14-10 at intermission. Kick is up, the kick is good. And it's all Thunder in half number 2. And Mark, Desert Hills, they got to be feeling that they are a little bit closer to their ultimate prize as crosstown rivalry matchup for the title with Crimson Cliffs. What are you seeing down there on the sideline?
Yeah, for sure. The energy has picked up tremendously from the first half here. In the second half for Desert Hills, Cyrus Polu with those 2 big picks has just energized this sideline. And I do see frustration sitting in a little bit with Mountain Crest. I didn't see the action or hear anything, but I think frustration is setting in a little bit.
And how about Bo Wall? 2 rushing touchdowns. And how about the block from Double Nickel? I mean, it's just a pancake block by Tamatasi Viliami Sauta, the senior.
Now again, the Desert Hills Thunder kicking this one off from the 45 of the Mustangs.
Yep. But, you know, you're content to squib it into the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Up 30-14, 16-point lead. Still a 2-possession game. No need to onside kick and give the Mustangs any extra field position, and they'll set up shop at the 20s and go sailing in through the end zone.
Yeah, well, again, 30-14, Desert Hills leading right now with 1:15 up on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard, right? So Desert Hills with a comfortable enough lead. They're not going to take the foot off the gas, though. I can guarantee you that. So Mountain Crest has to make some big moves right here as we get closer and closer to that fourth quarter.
And it took a while, but Desert Hills has finally kind of figured out a little recipe for success. And the turnovers have really hurt Mountain Crest in the second half. And Cyrus Polo has been making big plays. And a toss outside, caught by Olsen. Carson Olsen cut back. He's going to get the first down out across the 30. That'll move the chains. And Mountain Crest, you know, with 1:03 to go, and didn't stop the clock much to move the chains, but that's okay. But they got to go pretty quick now, down 16 points.
Yeah, I was going to mention they're down 3 scores, so moving quick is definitely going to be their MO.
Technically down 2 scores if you got 2 2-point conversions, but that's
true.
A stretch.
That's true.
What a catch from the backside, a diving catch, and he got it, I think. Catch made by number 11, Landon Buse.
Yeah, Buse just laying out there for that one. An amazing catch. We haven't really seen one like that, but it looks like it's getting brought back.
Wow. Did it fall to the turf as he tried to collect it? Did he drop to the ground? That was tough. Man, I thought he made that catch live action.
I thought he did too.
But they call it incomplete. Receiver screen to Buse. Buse is going to try to run north and south. They'll get it to the 35-yard line, pick up a 5, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, hey, big for the Mustangs right there, Mountain Crest. They got to get out of bounds, right? They got to save as much time as they possibly can. Even though, yes, they still have a full quarter to play, if you're going to use short passes like that, try to save the clock.
30-14, Desert Hills leading Mountain Crest. Late third quarter here. 26 seconds left. They throw it out wide. Catch is made by Thatcher Phelps. And Phelps is trying to find some room to make somebody miss, and he can't. Cyrus Polu again on the stop.
Now he gets the pass out there in the flat, but there was just no one to block for him. There's 2 Thunder sitting there ready for him, and he tried to slip one tackle, just wasn't quite enough.
And now decision time, but it'll have to wait till the start of the fourth quarter. Do you go for it from your own 35? We'll find out as the third quarter comes to an end. A Thunder dominated by Desert Hills as they've got on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard a 30-14 lead. We'll take a timeout, come back, fourth quarter action in the 4A State semifinals right after this message from our great local partners.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Thanks. Well, crunch time, decision time for Coach Visser and Mountain Crest. They trail by 16 points to start the fourth quarter. And they're going to leave the offense out there, and I assume that might be the case. You just can't afford to go down 3 scores. And so on 4th down and 6, they are going to go for it. It's actually closer to a long 5. They're going to roll out Casey Crofts, looking to throw. Has some time all the way to the boundaries, run out of bounds, and he throws it away last second. It's incomplete, and Desert Hills will take over at the Mountain Crest 35-yard line.
Now that coverage by the Thunder was
I'm Aaron Crane.
The Mustangs didn't have anyone.
The highlights of the game. Look for the
to
Region
find
10
something, but just no one there. Turnover on downs and gives the Thunder good field position again here in the 4th quarter.
And just nobody opened down the field. Polu was blanketing Thatcher Phelps, and I think that's where maybe Casey Crofts wanted to go with the football, but it just wasn't there. So here comes Noah Fuitololo, Tyden Morris, 16 carries, over 100 yards rushing tonight. Actually, I think he's got 18 carries now. Fuitololo going to tuck and going to run, and he is going to be hit and dropped. Got close to the original line of scrimmage. Might be a short loss on the play of a yard or so.
Yeah, lost a little bit on that. He was looking downfield and just no one there, so had to take matters into his own hands, but it was just a little too late. Defense got to him for a loss.
You know, he got what he could. You can still see he doesn't have full mobility. I mean, the kid's playing on a torn ACL, but the fact that he's playing and he's staying healthy and helping his team in his senior season is quite remarkable. He's going to hand this off on a jet sweep. Here comes Polu. Actually, that's Cummings, and Azen Cummings is going to be tackled on a cutback attempt, and he didn't get anything. No gain on the play.
Yeah, and a penalty marker does come out as well, so I think this one could be getting pushed back even further.
Nice tackle there by number 70, Judson Wells. And they're going to call this on the Thunder, which will back them up. So you get this turnover on downs at the 35, and now you're backed up near midfield all of a sudden. And this is not what Coach Barry was looking for here. Clock stops with 11 minutes and 11 seconds exactly left.
Yeah, 2nd and 25 here for the Thunder.
And they're going to throw a screen. It's caught. And here comes Tyden Morris. The 45, hit at the 40 and dropped right at the 40. Pickup of about 10. Quick. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, good 10-yard pickup there by Morris with a catch right over the top, and that the defense from Mountain Crest extending high, trying to block it, but able to bring it in and get that 10-yard gain.
Quick update, Quali Conley long touchdown run. Utah Tech up 47-36 over SUU. PAT pending. Updates brought to you by Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
The Utah Tech offense is moving things along lately.
Big tournament at Nets on Fire this weekend, and a big throw and a big catch by Javian Cummings, and that's going to be enough for U First Credit Union first down. They were behind the sticks. They get it all the way down to the 25-yard line on the forward progress, and they overcome the penalty, Caden.
Yeah, and one play you go 10, the next play you go 15, you get that first down. That's the kind of ball movement you want to see here from the Thunder, especially as they're trying to. If they can continue to move the ball like this, they'll see themselves in the championship game.
How about that play? Because he needed second effort, yak yards to move the chains, and Thatcher Phelps couldn't wrap him up initially, and now they can run some more clock. 9:49 when they snap this ball. It's a handoff, jump cut to the outside, and Tyden Morris to the 10, and inside the 10 to the 9. Tyden Morris with another U First Credit Union first down as he got wide and turned north and south, and he is a load to bring down.
He is. He gets inside the 10, as you mentioned, into the Cache Valley Bank red zone, puts them in position here now to score with a fresh set of downs on a first and goal. I like what this Thunder offense has been able to do so far in this possession.
Here we go. Taking all the time they can. They'll stay in the huddle here. Play clock down to 15 and ticking. And now they'll try to snap this with just a couple ticks on the clock. Man in motion, it's Holmes. They'll run it to Morris. Morris puts his head down, bounces off the first guy, finally gang tackled down around the 6. Another hard run for Tide Morris.
So impressive with how he stays on his feet after he takes a hit. He'll get hit and just keep on going. And this time, yeah, it wasn't that big of a gain, but still impressed by his tenacity to just keep moving.
So now, take that clock down. And right now, this is exactly what Coach Berry was not getting in the first half. It's execution. You almost feel like if Desert Hills scores here, this will be in the old refrigerator, barring a miracle.
Like
and there it is. Guess who? Cyrus Polu on the run for the touchdown.
Yeah, like you just said, it felt like this score here would kind of blow things open even more now for the Thunder to kind of walk their way into a win. There's still a decent amount of time. 36, potentially 37 to 14 deficit.
Extra point. Here is Xander Jones. Holmes, the holder. Colin Brooks will snap it. And the hold is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. We'll take the timeout. 45-second break. Thunder rolling 37-14 on the Wilkinson scoreboard here on KSLSports.com and the Fan Sports Network.
First Days Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big A store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Free.
Back live here, Eccles Coliseum, Cedar City, Utah, home to the semifinals in the 4A classification. Kickoff is going to be returnable from right at the 1-yard line. Here comes William DeCorver, who scored the opening touchdown, but we haven't heard much of him in the second half. And the return out across the 25-yard line. And Mount Crest needs to score, and they need to score quickly. And then you got to start thinking about onside kicks. As time is running down, 8:07 left in this game, and Desert Hills has opened things up, 37-14 lead.
Yeah, Desert Hills has definitely taken things since halftime and said, hey, this game is ours, and they've shown that. Cyrus Polu really kind of being the guy leading that charge as well.
Casey Crofts going to throw. Pressure comes. Screen pass, though. Perfectly tossed over the top. But a good tackle by Taven Mortensen to limit that to a gain of about 5.
That's what you like to see from your guys like Taven Mortensen. Open field tackles, making sure that you don't let this Mustang offense get those first downs. Try to keep the ball in your possession. The defense has to do their part to make that happen. But looks like a flag moved it.
Roughing the passer at the end of that pressure on Casey Croft. So this is going to help Mount Crest a little bit. Keep their chances alive. So that'll move the ball out to the 45 of Mountain Crest, 1st and 10.
You know, with everything we talk about the Thunder doing well, the one thing that they haven't done is they're not helping out with those flags. There's been plenty of penalties tonight from the Thunder.
Play clock has not started here yet. They're holding the ball, and I think they're going to make an adjustment to the clock. It's 7:50 right now left in the fourth quarter. Again, Desert Hills leading 37-14 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Lights, fans, home decor, so much more. Wilkinson's a unique place to shop. Over there across the street from Fiesta Fun. And put 8:05 back on, so add 15 seconds. Coach Visser was over there saying, hey, you let the clock tick down, put me some back, and they do. They're going to throw. Crofts, quick hitter. And it is caught. Nice catch in traffic. Looked like Hunter Clark was trying to come through the receiver. Landon Buse and deflect that pass, and it was just thrown perfectly.
Yeah, anytime you have a defender right on your back when that ball touches your hand, that's a tough catch to make. He gets it for a gain of 5.
7:37 and ticking, and they're taking a little bit of time in the huddle. Definitely need to take some shots here soon. Desert Hills with the big lead as they have scored a bunch of points in the second half, and they add a sack. And guess who? Sauta gets to the quarterback, and down goes Casey Crofts.
Big time defensive play there by the Thunder to drop him 5 yards back at the 40. Mustangs have to try to make something big happen. It's just sitting there too far down right now.
Crofts trying to make a play here. Flags fly. He'll throw it over the middle. It's caught. They blow it dead. They stop. Everybody stops. Play never happened. 6:51 on the clock here, and we had movement down in the trenches. So this one is going to be actually a substitution infraction against Desert Hills. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. And that'll get them after the sack back near the original line of scrimmage. But still, time is running out. Clock is now winding. Under 7 minutes to play. Desert Hills with a commanding lead. Up 23 points. Out of the gun, Casey Crofts. Swing pass, McMurtry hit and then spins off and will be tackled, but cannot break free of Taven Mortensen. Mortensen played a heck of a game tonight.
Yeah, Mortensen's done a really good job on both offense and defense, right? He's kind of an all-around guy, but on the defensive side especially making big plays.
Well, he doesn't go for the decleater. He comes in and then about 2 yards away, he breaks down just enough to make sure that he can make the stop. Fourth down, Mountain Crest has got to have it. Bose, crucial part of the game, and it's an interception. Here comes Money Mortensen. Taven cuts back at the 20, take it down at the 17, and that was another takeaway for this Desert Hills defense.
Mortensen's slow to get up. He's asking for some help to come over from the sidelines.
Well, Mortensen he got a little nicked up with a calf last week, but you wouldn't know it. They've done an incredible job getting him healthy and ready to go. He does just kind of maybe the wind gets knocked out of him. All the weight landing on Mortensen. And let's hope that's the case, as now he's up and under his own power coming off the field. I think he's out of air, buddy. I mean, and there's his dad, Shane Mortensen, the first to greet him. Wide receiver coach, Pocky Cummings there helping T-Money, and everybody's giving him love. Wasn't the pick six, but 3 interceptions now by this Desert Hills defense. And Fuilatolo back in the big rig, Tyden Morris to his left. Twins to either side. Ball on the left hash. They're going to run it to Tyden Morris. Morris chopped down. Good tackle by Olsen. He'll get it down to the 14.
Yeah, the Thunder here getting close to extending that lead. Again, 37-14. 5:45 left on the clock. They're inside the red zone. And it's been all Thunder this second half. No question about that.
So now they'll take every second. Play clock winding down to 17 here. They'll finally break the huddle. Meanwhile, down in St. George, Utah Tech leading 48-36 over SUU with the football with about 7 minutes to go in that game. Here, 5:20 to go. Man in motion, that's Polu. They'll give it to Morris, a little bit of a crease, and he's going to be really close, but just shy of a first down.
Yep, about a yard shy there. Brings up third with 1 to go. Thunder, though, I think they can get it here. It should be an easy little 1-yard gain. Right now, they don't need to punch it into the end zone.
Again, taking some time. Working that play clock down to 18 now. And now they'll finally get ready to snap this football. Just need a yard here, 3rd and short. Again, the big rig, Tyden Morris, got the first down, but barely. Give him the 8 at least, maybe the 7.5. And are they going to mark him short? Actually, it looks like they're not going to give him the first down.
It looks like it's right at that line. I'm surprised they didn't move it.
So 4th and inches.
Inches, I guess.
And here comes the heavy package. Here comes Sauta and Bridger Fleming, and Morris will come out. Bo Wall, the sophomore quarterback, will come in. And now, do you want to take a timeout and talk about it, or do you want to go quick here and just run that Wildcat behind those big guys?
I say just go for it. You're already inside the 10. Even if you don't get it, you have a comfortable lead.
Wall going to run behind Sauta, and they took a timeout. And I don't know if he would have got it, but I think it was a timeout, a Fabulous Freddy's timeout taken by Coach Berry, and the Desert Hills sideline, I think, was granted right at the last second before Bo Wall snapped that play. We'll step aside. Quick 30-second timeout. 4th down when we come back. Desert Hills in command. 37-14 over Mountain Crest on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard with 3:49 left in the 4th quarter.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Glad you're with us. We are 3:49 to play. Desert Hills in the red zone, presented by Cache Valley Bank, and 4th and inches. They take the timeout. And it will still be Bo Wall out there. Wildcat formation. And Wall is going to run it up the middle, and he is going to dive ahead, and it's going to be really dependent on the spot here. It's close. And they got it. First down, Thunder.
Yeah, 1st and goal now here for the Thunder. Again, like I mentioned before, all the Thunder want to do is just keep possession of that ball. It looks like they do have an injured player out there on the field. Some staff going to come out and see what they can do to treat him. But yeah, the Thunder just keeping the ball in their own hands. It's a big play for them.
An injury down on the field. Who is that, Caden? That's one thing is Desert Hills looks like they're closing in on punching their ticket to the title game. You'd hate to see maybe a cramp, look like they're stretching out the leg. You hope it's just a cramp, right?
Yeah, you definitely hope so. I mean, you don't want to wish any sort of injury on anyone, but it looks like they're just working on that calf. I hope it's not the knee. It definitely looks like it could be somewhere in that area, but I mean, tough to say.
So, and we don't know officially, but we've heard that there's been a lot of talk that if Desert Hills goes on to win this game, they would host Crimson. That game, instead of being maybe next Friday at Rice-Eccles Stadium, where it's originally scheduled, maybe back down here at SUU or maybe even in St. George. Yeah. I don't know.
That was Austin Wintle for Desert Hills that was down, and he's getting helped off the field right now.
So a little bit of weight on the left foot as he's hopping, but he's not putting any weight at all on that right foot. So slowly, methodically, they'll reset the play clock. And finally they get him off. Hope he's okay. Mountain Crest got to have a stop. They almost need to just play for a turnover here. Just try to strip the ball.
Yeah, the official starts the clock again with 3:37 left to go in this one. It's 37-14. I feel like the Thunder have put it away enough that we can comfortably say they got it. But, Mountain Crest still needs to do what they got to do to try to make it stop here.
Senior Zach Ford, quick toss. Speedster going to be hit and dropped. Nice tackle coming up was Jackson Bitton, and Bitton makes a really good stop going low on Zach Ford, which is hard to do because Zach's about 5'5".
Yeah, and it looked like that was also They break that 40-point mark. It's 43-14 with that PAT pending. And the Thunder, again, tale of two halves. Here they go into the second half, extending that lead even more.
If he makes this, it's a 34-0 run in the second half by the Thunder. The PAT is up, and it is good.
Yeah, just like I say, 34 points in the second half is insane, and it's a 34 points and a half at all, right? And this lead by the Thunder has been huge. Honestly, it's just been kind of impressive to watch the shutdown of Mountain Crest's offense and Thunder's offense getting out there and doing what they need to do.
D Hills is going to face Crimson next Friday night. And, of course, we'll have the game for you right here on the fansportsnetwork.com if it's in southern Utah. If it's up at Rice Eccles, KSLsports.com. But if they move it down, we'll have the simulcast, I believe. So we'll let you know. You know, every year there's talk about that when you get two region teams head-to-head. A lot of the coaches feel like it's a treat to go to Rice Eccles Stadium, and it's fun for the kids to play at the U. So we'll see what the principals and the UHSAA ultimately decides to do. Some substitutions, getting some underclassmen named Conan Crowell was out there for kickoff. They're going to pull him off. Cyrus Polu's going to come off. And they're going to put on another substitute. So you're getting some guys, Gage Brenneman, senior, out there on special teams. These guys work and practice all season long and get a chance to make a tackle here as Tristan John will kick this off. 1:05 left to go. And kick is returnable from the 10. And it's William DeCorver, and he has tripped up. And, man, if he doesn't get tripped up, he had a little room to run and maybe shake loose. But they'll spot him down at the 32, it looks like. And Desert Hills Crimson, Caden. Boy, oh, boy. Number 1 versus number 2 in the RPI rankings at the end of the day for the state championship.
Yeah, this is a fun matchup. Anytime you talk to someone from Desert Hills, you ask them, who's your biggest rival? They'll say Crimson. When you talk to someone from Crimson Cliffs, so they say, ask them, who's your biggest rival? They say Desert Hills. So this is one of the biggest rivalry matchups in Region 10, if not in 4A itself.
44-14 our score. And they'll run it. McMurtry. And he's going to break a tackle. And still fighting. This kid's got a nice little first down run out near midfield. And you can kind of tell Desert Hills is just like, let's just get out of here and win this game.
Yeah, they're saying, we'll let you run it up the middle. 50 seconds left to play in this one. And they're just saying, just keep the clock running. We don't really care at this point. But coming up post-game, I know Mark's been down there chasing people down on the sideline. So I'm sure he'll have some interviews coming for us on the sideline shortly after the finish of this matchup.
And another Carson Olson, the senior, making another play. He's left it on the field tonight, the senior captain for the Mustangs. From the Thunder, 33, 26 seconds left. Down Crest, going to run at McMurtry, off right tackle, big hole, down to the 25-yard line. And it's a gain of 8 and probably one more play if they want to go quick, and this will be it, or they can just say, let's go home. That'll do it.
I'll see what they do here. 3 seconds left. I think they'll just... they did snap it.
And it goes over the quarterback's head, and Crofts is going to fumble, and Desert Hills recovers, and guess who? It's Cyrus Polu, his third takeaway of the night, and Desert Hills will win it 44-14.
Well, hey, if we're talking nominations for a player of the game, Cyrus is definitely going to be up there. That's not the only play he's made. We'll talk about that in the postgame show.
Yeah, we got a lot of awards to hand out. I mean, he could have multiple awards tonight.
We're talking offensive and defensive. Yeah, it's across the board.
Well, that'll do it again, 44-14. Caden, it took a while. I mean, 14-10 at the half, but Desert Hills got rolling, and they take some momentum into that title game next week against the Mustangs of Crimson Cliffs after they beat the Mustangs of Mountain Crest tonight by a final on the Wilkins scoreboard, 44-14. We're going to keep it here and get down to the field in just a minute to Mark Musgrave. But I think we can go ahead and say my thought is Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game is it's got to be the Cyrus Polu pick 6, or maybe the Taven Mortensen pick later on in the game. That kind of, at that point, you knew this one was over.
Yeah, I think when Taven did it, it felt like it was already over. When Cyrus did it, that's when it broke open.
That was early third, yeah.
It was early. It was the first score. I believe it was the first score.
First drive.
That put them into the lead after that. After they were down 10-14 at halftime. So if I have to give it to anyone, I'm giving it to that Cyrus Polu pick 6 for an Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the game.
Let's make it official. Appliance Wholesalers Plus, the playmakers in the appliance business across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart St. George. And Cyrus Polu wins your AWP Playmaker Play of the game with the pick 6. And he run it back about, I want to say, 33 yards, I think, if I remember correctly. 33-yard return, and it was deflected, went right to Polu, and he did the rest. An impressive night for Polu as he ran one in, had the pick 6, had another interception, and just had a fumble recovery as well. And they're still kind of celebrating. Let's continue to hand out some awards as Mark Musgrave is trying to find, somebody to talk to down on the field. And let's look at how about this? I think it's obvious tonight.
Mark's down there.
Hey, guys.
All right, let's go down to Mark with Coach Barry.
I got Coach Barry.
All right, Mark.
Coach, you were down going in at halftime. What was your message to the team at halftime?
It was believe. I said before, we went in, if we come out and execute, we're going to be okay. I just told them, don't put your head down, put it up. We're right there where we need to be. We didn't play well the first half. Who wants it the most is going to determine. They came out, and man, I'm so proud of these kids.
How do you describe this team?
Resilient. We finally learned how to play as a brotherhood, and when we do that, hey, sky's the limit.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck next week.
All right, that's Mark Musgrave. We're going to go back down to Mark probably in just a second. He'll try to grab a couple players. But Coach Barry saying this team is resilient, and that's something I was saying the last couple of weeks too, is when they get those wide receivers to block downfield, and when they get guys to play unselfish football, this team has as much talent as anybody right there with Crimson Cliffs. The talent, the cream has risen to the top, and they'll meet for the 4A state championship next Friday, and a great win as Coach Barry's going to address his team. How about our Jersey Mike sub of the game? Is it Bo Wall coming in and running 2 touchdowns in that Wildcat on the goal line, or is it Sauta for key in the blocks on the goal line?
I mean, it could go both ways, right? It can go one of 2 ways there. Bo Wall coming in, and when he does get asked to come in, it usually is in those scenarios, those Wildcat scenarios, right? Where they say, hey, you take this snap and run it in, right? Kind of like the Taysom Hill for the Saints. He gets those snaps, runs it in, and he does a good job at it. That's why they trust him to do it. He's the one that gave them that first touchdown of the game, right? If I remember correctly, that's the only reason why it felt close in the first half was because of that touchdown. So big play there by Bo Wall. I would probably say that's a fair statement to give it to him.
All right, let's go with Bo Wall and Sauta. We'll go. You can get a hot or a cold sub Mike's way. Jersey Mike's a sub above the rest. Let's take a look at our Hearst stores. Player of the game, convenient locations, Corner Boulevard, Bluff, St. George, heart of downtown Cedar City. Man, Tide Morris goes for 142 tonight, couple touchdowns. It's hard to ignore what Cyrus Polu did tonight, though, as he was everywhere, Caden. Just simply everywhere. It seems like he never comes off the field.
Well, especially in that second half, right? How many times did it feel like we were saying Cyrus Polu, Cyrus Polu, Cyrus Polu, right? And it's because he was everywhere. If you're watching the replay at home, this was his pick 6 right there. He did it all. He got the pick 6. He ran the football. He made a few receptions. He made some big defensive plays, some big stops, right? He did everything that he needed to do in this win for the Thunder. If anything, he helped them get some momentum back coming out of halftime.
All right, so let's go with Cyrus Polu, our Hearst Stores player of the game. As for our Morgan Pest Control defensive player of the game. I mean, maybe we share the love and we look somewhere else, but here you're seeing Polu with our Appliance Soul Sailors Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. Actually, that was the second pick.
Second one.
He almost had back-to-back pick sixes in consecutive drives. But my goodness, got to give some love to Tyden Morris tonight, don't we? I mean, this kid ran his tail off, breaking tackles. I don't know how many of his 146 yards were yak yards, but probably at least 50 or 60 tonight were after contact.
It felt like a lot of them were. There were a lot of moments where he broke through some tackles and just opened up the field and got a little extra afterwards. And it was fun to watch him do that, right? And even in the first half, he had some great plays in the first half. Even when it felt like it wasn't quite there for the Thunder, he was still making plays, continued to do so in the second half.
All right, man, did we miss any awards?
Well, I do want to point out, if we're talking about a defensive play of the game or just a play of the game.
Hey, guys.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah,
hey, I got Tyden down here.
Let's go.
I got Tyden down here. Tyden. Devin wants to hear from you. Hey, Tyden, you're going to the state championship game. If you could have picked from the beginning of the season who you wanted to play in state, who would that be?
Crimson for sure. I want payback on them, or we're going to go get it on them. We're going to do it.
What was the game plan going in today?
Just execute. We've been talking about it all week in practice. Come out and execute and just play the game we know. And we did that tonight and paid off. We're going to the ship, baby. So.
Do you want defensive backs to get in front of you and try to tackle you?
Oh, yeah. I want to run them all over. Tell them to come.
There you go, Tyden Morris.
Mark, ask Tyden if it's okay if I call him Big Rig. Can I call Ty? Ask him if I can call him Big Rig.
Devin wants to know if you can call him, if he can call you Big Rig.
Of course, you call me Big Rig.
There's your answer, Dev.
Okay, good, because I called him that like 5 times tonight.
You called him that a lot.
The Big Rig, Tyden Morris.
Nice job, Tyden.
Hey, like an 18-wheeler. You know how they have those runaway truck ramps? Like, don't get in Tyden Morris's way, because he'll punish you.
Well,
all right,
go ahead.
I got Cyrus Polu right here as well, guys. You ready to talk to him?
Let's do it. Hey, heads up, Cyrus Polu just nominated our player of the game as well.
Cy, you were just nominated and I think given our player of the game. First interception, what did you see on that play?
Well, I just seen it was trips. I just dropped in my coverage and I just picked it.
Second interception, what did you see on that play?
Same thing.
It did seem like deja vu. Cy, I have known you a long time, and you are a beast of a man right now. You're going to play Crimson in the state championship game. What are your thoughts on that?
It's time for revenge. That's all I got to say.
You guys, Cyrus, congratulations on today's game. You guys, so this is what I'm hearing from both Tyden and Cy. This is a payback game next week. Payback game. I got chills on my neck talking about this.
Thank you, Mark. Great job down the field with Coach Barry, Tyden Morris, and Cyrus Polu. You're right. It was 21-14 during the regular season. But, this is a fun storyline. I mean, Coach Wayne and Coach Barry both come from the Coach Blaine Munkers coaching tree. It was a close game in the regular season. They trained together, did some camp stuff together in the offseason. They're crosstown rivals. It is a revenge game. But rest assured, Crimson are going to be ready to go. They're going to be hungry. They want the title, too. They haven't ever won a state championship in football. You got to go back to the state championships Desert Hills won under Carl Frankie since they've won it, and Coach Barry wants another one. Let's go back down to Mark. Mark, go ahead.
Devin, are you ever quiet?
No.
All right. Hey, I got T-Money right next to me and Dad on the coaching staff. T-Money, what did you see on that last pick?
I don't know. I just saw the quarterback staring it down. I just sat in my zone and threw it right to me, I guess.
What do you work on? You have really become a great corner here in Region 10. What's your mentality have to be as a great corner?
No one's going to beat me. I got to do my best. I got to do my job, help out the team, and that's what I do.
What's it like having Dad on the sideline?
Always keeping the energy high, keeping me focused. It's good. I mean, sure loves me, I guess.
Now, you're going to face Crimson in the state championship game. What are your thoughts on that?
It's going to be a tough one. They're definitely a good team, as you can tell. But, hey, man, we've been preparing for this whole season, so one more game.
Coach Morty, what are your thoughts on coaching Taven for I don't know how many years, but how is that for you as a dad?
Oh, there's nothing better. I've always loved coaching my boys, and just to be able to get to this stage with him, there's nothing better. We've never been in a semifinal together with Jace. We've always kind of bounced out in the quarters, and to get to this stage and have this opportunity to be a part of this whole group and this Thunder family. The coaching staff's amazing. These boys bring it, and they make me want to go to practice to be around them. I absolutely love it.
There you go, guys. You heard it from the Mortensons right here on the right here at midfield. They're going to face Crimson next week. It's payback game.
Yeah.
Now, we did get confirmation as well, guys, that it looks like it's going to be at Utah Tech. So that's a good look there. So.
Okay, yeah, that's what we're hearing. That game will not now be at Rice Eccles, and so fans will be able to pack the stands. Won't have to drive up the freeway, and it should be a heck of a football game. I mean, Still Barbin threw 3 touchdowns earlier. Crimson wins. They had a couple of great plays. Jay Sweeten was incredible in that game. The defensive line got after it. Smith had a takeaway. McKay Wright had a sack and a fumble and recovered it all in the same hit in the backfield. Like they had 5 takeaways. What Desert Hills have? 4 tonight? I mean, both these teams winning by getting opportunistic takeaways on defense. I mean, that's got to be a huge storyline going into next week's matchup.
Oh, absolutely. Turnovers always play a big part in tonight's game, too. The penalties played a big part. So making sure not to make those mistakes will be huge in the championship matchup coming up this next week.
All right, mark down the field. Some final thoughts up in the booth here. We handed out all of our awards. And, by the way, it is a final now. Utah Tech just beat SUU. So they split the head-to-head home and home as Utah Tech wins tonight 48-36. That game going final right about the same time as this one just went final.
Yeah, absolutely. So
pretty big night for the St. George schools.
Big night for some St. George schools is 3 of them, right? 3 St. George schools getting the win in football tonight.
All right, we want to thank our sponsors one more time. Before we do that, just final thoughts on today, both games, Caden. What pops out?
I would say the thing that pops out is just the heart. These kids played with a lot of heart out there, right?
Love it.
And they did exactly what they needed to do to find their way into the championship game.
Yeah, I mean, incredible play all over the field. Some memories made, and the journey continues for Crimson Cliffs, who in game 1 of our doubleheader here at Eccles Coliseum wins it over the defending state champ Ridgeline Riverhawks 27-13, and then moments ago went final. A huge performance, 34 unanswered points after trailing 14-10 at the halftime. And Coach Berry said, hey, we believed, we came out, we executed, and boy did they ever, as they went at 44-14 over Mountain Crest. Congratulations to Ridgeline and Mountain Crest in the losses, their fans, their sponsors that have been with Cache Valley Daily, and the local radio stations, the flagships of these 2 schools. Thanks for letting us bring you the coverage up there. Appreciate KSLSports.com for allowing us to help out, and hopefully we'll be able to help out again if they are indeed moving that game to Utah Tech next Friday night. The scheduled time, I believe, is going to be 6:30, maybe 7 o'clock. We'll see on the time. Did we get a confirmation on the time?
I don't have a time yet.
The time on that game? Okay. But there you have it. Thanks to all our great sponsors, Finley Subaru, Udi & Associates, Rally Stop, Fabulous Freddy's, Appliance Wholesalers Plus, Holbrook Asphalt. The big score dessert is in effect.
Absolutely.
Both these games went over 25 points. So anybody listening or watching in St. George, this is good only at the St. George Yogurt Land. You can go over there till they close tonight and get 5 ounces free for everybody, your whole family. You can go date night. You can take the kids in, whatever you want to do. Take your buddies and head over to Yogurtland right now and just ask at checkout for the Holbrook Asphalt Big Score Dessert. Thanks to Jason Baum, Bay Equity Home Loans. Had a few bumps today, but there wasn't a lot of long pass plays. There was a lot of big defensive plays, I felt like, here in the semifinals.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Tonight. But we appreciate our partnership with Jason Baum and, of course, Bay Equity Home Loans. If you need a refinance or a new home purchase, get with Jason today. Appreciate Bo's Auto Parts, You First Credit Union, Morgan Pest Control, Wilkinson's House of Lighting, Hearst Ace Hardware, Finley Hyundai, Cache Valley Bank, Bear Paw, open for breakfast tomorrow. Go get some waffles. Jersey Mike's if you're hungry for lunch tomorrow. And Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court. For Mark, for Caden, for Colin back in the studio, for for Lacey and Paul and Dusty Allen, our stream producer. Thanks everybody for listening and watching. Good night from the semifinals. We'll see you next week for the state championship game as Crimson takes on Desert Hills, and we'll be there.